Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully everyone can hear me. Hope you all having a good night so far. We're going to get started here in just another minute. We're going to be playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe today. So please, for anyone who's just tuning in, please sit tight. We'll have this all going very shortly. So just stay tuned. Just a little bit longer. We'll be up and soon. Just patience is a virtue. Namaste. In like 1 minute. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are ready to go. Hello, 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 hello everyone. It's Jemuzu, your favorite goat boy hero from another world, and welcome back. Been a hot minute, been a good week since the Repo collab, but rest assured here, I ain't dead. I can never die. We're gonna be vibing a bit today. Tomorrow will be essentially the midnight launch for the Switch 2 and all that stuff. So, in order to hold us over until then, I'm gonna mess around a little bit. We're gonna play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe a little bit tonight. Single player stuff, sadly, and no DLC because I'm broke. But we're gonna check out some Switch 2 stuff. We're gonna chat. We're gonna talk some shit. We're gonna have some fun. I hope you all are ready for it. So we have a new Nintendo console coming out technically on Thursday. I think is when it is. The midnight launch, I believe, is tomorrow, at least here in the US. Also tomorrow, we're having a State of Play. Don't really know what's going on with all that, but I assume it's going to be something kind of interesting. I don't know. I hope they finally show off Wolverine again, because, you know, it's been, like, about 4 fucking years since we saw the game back in 2021, so where is it, Insomniac? You had 4 years to make the damn thing. I hope we get it soon. I'm not trying to push y'all, I'm just saying. So, don't really have any predictions for that. It's 40 minutes long, so it might have a lot of third-party stuff. Maybe it'll be a first-party showcase, I don't know. But it'll probably be about a bunch of stuff we already know about, so I'm not holding out too much hope on that. But rest assured, things are going to be good this week. Friday, there's going to be the Xbox Game Showcase. I'm looking into if I'm going to be streaming that, or if I'm going to stream it with anyone else. Let me know if y'all are interested in that. I'm not going to ramble too much about this, while at least showing that, hey, I have the goods. Rest assured, your boy does indeed got Mario Kart. And I still haven't updated my system software. Damn, I'm dumb. Anyways. I said start the software, you dummy. Yes. Let me in, you bum. It has been a hot minute since I've played 8 at all. I know y'all hear that. Ugh. Yes, sir. Yeah, baby. Alrighty then, we're gonna let's swap it over to here really quickly. I'm getting audio on the Western Front, but I'm not getting it anywhere else. I want to also check and see if, is it on this one? Oh, yep, we have it on that one. Okay, good. I'm going to jump back a bit between playing Mario Kart 8, like, casually, but also going to check out some stuff about the Switch, too. This stream was not planned. I really did not have a plan for today at all. You know, this just kind of was like, hey, I wanted to stream today. And like, hey, I have Mario Kart 8 here, and we're waiting on the new Mario Kart to come out in like 2 days, so like, hey, give this game a good farewell and at least check it out for a bit, because no one's going to want to play this game the second they get their hands on World. But I don't know. We'll see. There's going to still be value for it, I'm sure. But yeah. Let's actually pop it over here, and I'll swap over our audio and everything. But yeah, we are good to go. I hope the stream quality looks good to everybody. Yeah. Should be... What the hell? The screen's white. Okay, never mind, we're good. Alrighty then. Now then. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it is time for us to get into some good old Mario Kart. Now again, your boy does not have the, your boy does not have that DLC, so we ain't gonna be doing anything with that. But we are gonna play, will be a good rank for this. Oh yeah, I did 200cc tracks. Funny. Apparently that's not coming back in World, apparently. Yeah, Mario Kart World ain't gonna have that, that good old 200cc option. They opted out of it for some reason. I don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see, though. 150cc. And I don't see... Yeah, booster course stuff would probably be included, but I don't have NSO, because I'm a bum. But I got Golden Mario, I guess, so that's cool. We're not gonna do that one, though, because, I don't know, he just kind of looks funny. He looks a little silly. Let me see. Oh yes, the last time we'll ever see a Rareware Donkey Kong ever in a thing. I mean, Link makes sense. I prefer the classic one. He just has the better looking hair. Yeah, he has the Master Cycle, and then he has this bad boy. Let's see here. One has better traction, the one is just overall better with speed. Okay. Oh, that's only with those modifications. Ah, okay, I see. They still have the Mercedes-Benz tie-in. That's funny. Let me see. This is the fun part about this game. You get to mess around with things and just... Would that be terrifying? But okay. Yeah, that only really fucks with like a few things, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, it won't let us do a random one. Of course it won't. Yeah, we need to get some good acceleration on this bad boy. I always liked these wheels, but nah. They were not it whatsoever. I like the snow wall tires. That's actually a kind of clean combo, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That shit's kind of tough, but we ain't gonna do that. I think it's better to do Yoshi. Yes. The boy. The baby. Purple. Better handling. More speed. Again, hot minutes and I played this game, but I don't think I'm missing too much. Keyword, I don't think. Oh, this would be an accelerator-heavy vehicle, but I don't think we're going to do that. Instead, had these, I believe, yeah. And the last one is this. We'll just change things slightly, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, we should be good. Alright then, now to pick an old school course. Alright, let's check this real quick. Alright, I think it'd be fair to say, go over some of my favorites, at least, from the game. I've played this game a good amount. Like, way back when. It's been a minute since I've actually been on, but I'm getting I'm having all this stuff rushed back to me. Yeah, we have the, let me see, main game stuff, then the original DLC, but none of the new DLC. When I get NSO, I'll probably be getting the booster course pack for free still. I think we will. And at that point, well, if people want to play Mario Kart 8 with me, then, you know, we go for it. But if not, then, well, we're just gonna vibe. We ought to start with something fun, though. We gotta start with a goodie. I think Toad's Turnpike is horrid. I'm sorry. Like, it's worse in battle mode, but even here, it's like, it's whack. Let's do the Banana Peel course. This is, I think, is a good solid start for us. But yeah, we're gonna do like a course here and then jump in some videos, then back in and so on and so forth. At least I'm gonna try to tempt y'all's ADHD, because I know some of y'all are like that. So we're gonna just vibe here and see how it goes. But yeah, no, Switch 2 is like, it's coming out this week. It's gonna be in a lot of people's hands in like the next 2-3 days, which I think is funny. Okay, got it. I remember this now. Okay, got it. Oh. Oh, God. Oof. Bastard. I hate the Inkling already. Ugh. Oh, I gotta get my groove back, dog. Bet. Oh my god, this is horrible. Why did I think this was a good idea? Oh, I gotta... Man, I hate... And the course falls apart a little bit, leaving room for more ramps leading to... There we go. Alright, that looked good. I'm pretty sure... I thought you could, I'm pretty sure you could, jump off of the, Yes, I thought you could jump off the... I forgot. Jump off the freaking, geysers in the lake here. Apparently not. But yeah, no. First little circuit. Okay, I'm gonna not do too much, because yeah, we're just... I don't even know if people are back there. What was the view back when? There we go, yeah, we can do that. I was doing it way too late, or early, gotcha. But yeah, I wanted a way to unwind and just vibe. I needed a way to vibe and unwind with y'all, and I hope this is a fun little way to do it. My sultry and surprisingly deep voice. You wouldn't expect this goat to sound like this now, would ya? Just playing some Mario Kart 8, basically on the cusp of its deathbed, all by my lonesome. Because, you know, it's getting good. It's kind of good. But yeah, I have experience with, in terms of just 8, and like what it means to me. This was one of the first games I got way back when on frickin' Wii U. Yeah, I owned a Wii U, chat. Keep that in mind. I had the Wii U, and I still didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles X on that thing. I know, crazy, right? Anyways, your boy, he got this, I think, for Christmas one year. It was like, okay, it was this game, Smash Brothers, Splatoon I think came later, Nintendo Land, Wind Waker HD, Hyrule Warriors, and I want to say there was another game, maybe Pikmin 3, I forget. I forgot what the 6th game was, but there were like 6 games I got, because I really wanted a Wii again after My old one kind of blue screen death dust when I was playing Spider-Man Web of Shadows. Arguably the better version of that game on any system, because that one actually has alternate costumes. Not the point, though. Well, kind of, but not really. I enjoyed the Wii U. I really did end up enjoying the Wii U a lot, and yeah, I enjoyed the Wii U a great amount. We had the system for a good couple years before my dad pushed us to get the PlayStation 4, I believe, because the new Hot Shots Golf. But yeah, Wii U was the one console I played religiously way back when, and I loved every second of it. I don't think we have smart turning on. I think my turning is just that cracked. Yeah, I think the turning is just that cracked because we're on wet terrain. Oh god. Yo, chat, we might be goated here. Peep this. Skirt. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. The turning and drifting. Oh lord, that's golden. I love that. Oh my god. This freaking Skeletorian move. There's bastards on our tails. Bitch. But, oh, we gotta get this dude. We gotta get him, chat. Beer. I know, not really as fun when it's not with another person, but hey, I try. Anyways, win it. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. But yeah, once I get an SL, probably gonna get... And again, there's a whole stream schedule plan I want to do when I get my own Switch too, but Mario Kart would be one of the big ones I want to do that's frequent. Because, come on, it's freaking Mario Kart, and we'd have at least 2 games to mess with. So doing that, maybe something for Fridays, because your boy's now free on Friday, so we can do something with that now, in terms of scheduling, but... Yeah, no, Mario Kart, I want to try to do something fun for that. Fridays, we have a new slot open, so... I'd still get time to play a lot of the games I want to play, mainly finish up Xenoblade Chronicles X, which, trust me guys, I'm going to finish it here soon. I'm waiting to get all the VODs for it up onto the actual VOD channel before we put out the final part, because I think that would be... It'd be very confusing if I didn't have previous context. Not the point, though. Oh, but... Yeah, no. In terms of just, yeah, in terms of just, You missed, sucker! No. But yeah, no, back to the topic about Switch 2. I want to do like a weekly thing for a couple days, or like something weekly with Mario Kart, and then something on Fridays too, something separate. I don't know what I do for Mario Kart, maybe a Monday thing, but I have no idea. We will have to wait and see. But again, I want to open myself up for a lot more fun stuff. And I think also just I want to do more collabs, because we did Repo very recently. Very recently, as in last Tuesday, we played Repo on here. And it might have been one of my favorite streams ever, because it was just super chill. Bunch of other people. I could say what I wanted to, and it was just natural. I got along. Everyone joined me for that stream. Akumu_Shion, Tea Time with Kai, Zelnick, and I think who was the last person? I forget. I don't. God, I hate forgetting things. But it might have been the 3 of us, I think, for that stream. But yeah, no, playing Repo, fun as hell. Make no mistake, I enjoy it very much so. And you know what? With again, want to push doing just more fun event type streams eventually, which I think will be very fun and nice for Not just me, but also just because, hey, it's fun content. It's fun to do that sort of thing, and... Oh boy. Oh boy. Will I be goated? No. Oh well. Not like it's gonna matter, I'm already at the finish line, sucker. Yep. Yes, sir. We be spittin'. But yeah, no, in terms of future stuff, again, I'm trying to secure Switch 2 because that's going to be very derivative of what I'm going to do going forward, and hopefully we'll do some more weekly stuff again. I want to finish up Xenoblade X. Also get back to Astrobot, because I enjoyed that game very much, I just don't know when. Main priority is just going to be finish up Xenoblade X. Maybe come back to Final Fantasy 16 at some point in the future. That is still on the list. But, you know, again, I wouldn't mind not doing it. It's very confusing, but I'm trying to just plan it out in me head. Oh, Tiki, Bongo people. Oh, sick. Oh. Oh. Nice. Banner. Gaming. Let's do it. Oh god. Okay, can we do this shortcut then, I wonder? Yeah, we're going. Let's go. Oh, I love it. Sick. I would just be the ultimate Dickus Headis and just plant one of these. Aw, you bastard. Oh, man. Well, we got the 3 bananas back anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh. Oh. Let's go. Oh, God. Well, sure. Anyways. The shit. Oh, God. Oh, too soon. Oh, but they put me back on that path anyway. Oh, gosh, dude. Rest assured, we will be cooking. Make no mistake. But yeah, Mario Kart World is the next discussion bird. And I'm very excited for it, make no mistake. That game will indeed be fun. Let me see. In terms of, well, again, don't know when I'm getting it, but I'm very excited about what that's gonna do for us, and also just having, again, another fun game to stream that, you know, also happens to be like $80. We'll talk about that later. Trust me. But, yeah, no. One thing I'm gonna mention, again, is just the Switch 2 is a big part of the plans, at least future plans, and I want to secure one. Yes, I don't like over-relying on it, but also, I want to, it's something I want to do, so can't really fault me for wanting to really do something, but also hyperfixating my future plans on it. But yeah, yeah, that really be bad for streaming up dirts. But yeah, no, it's, yeah, at least to me personally, I'm very excited for the Switch 2, and again with Mario Kart. I'll have more to talk about that later, but trust me, we are going to, alrighty then, let's, alright, dry desert. Let me see, alrighty then, first place on all courts, very nice. The golden banana. Very smooth and very smooth. We got new vehicle parts again. Have not. Again, been a hot minute since I've actually played the game, but we vibing. Okay, now that's one little Grand Prix done. I think we are due for a little break on some internet. Because secretly, chat, I have tricked you. For you see, my friends, this stream is not just us playing Mario Kart, but it is also an internet browsing stream. That's right, I fooled you. Y'all gonna react to me playing Mario Kart 8, but also while I chitter-chatter about the frickin' Switch 2 a lot. Because, your boy got no soul. I'm kidding mostly, but still. I at least wanted to give a few videos the good old look, and also just because I know, hey, it's funny. Now, question is this gonna... Oh my god, why is it doing this? Hold on. Yeah, we'll just go to the menu. That works. Okay, then, so... Let me just pop up... Yeah, it should be a... Let me see. Okay, audio is coming through. Very nice indeed. We gotta make this work somehow, chat. Oh, 8 actually had an update. I'm stupid. That might actually be a better thing. Hold on. Start software. Oh wait, no. Yeah, might as well, so we can at least do this dang thing with the streaming. Make no mistake. Okay. Update complete. We will restart it momentarily. Okay, then. I think we're good then. Okay. Now, I'm going to be watching videos. We're going to watch a couple of videos over the course of this whole thing. We'll come back to Mario Kart here in a bit, but I wanted to get some of these out of the way too, because again, me personally, I think this is stuff definitely worth looking at, especially in consideration for what the Switch 2 is going to be bringing to the table. And we're starting off here with a new trailer for the Switch Online.
The Nintendo Switch
2. Switch freaking... oh god, yeah, this thing's gonna be weird. Yeah, we're gonna have to, hang on. Put you in sleep mode. Yeah, Mario Kart has to update, so we kind of have to do this, this whole thing. Yeah, hang on, let me, yeah, I'm sure we're fine. Let's see.
And Nintendo Switch.
Yep, the audio works now. Okay, we gonna watch some trailers real quickly while the Switch 2 and Mario Kart 8 update. So, ladies and gentlemen, without a further dibby-dabba-doo, and let's see here, everything working so far. We got it all going, okay? Let's check some trailers really quick and just see what's up. Again, we gotta catch up a little bit before the Switch 2 comes out, so hey, I figured this be a fun little information stream as well, not just in terms of, you know, this Twitch page, this channel, but also for the people out there who are going to buy this thing. I'm sneaking in a history lesson or two here as well, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm gonna stop doing that with the video player. Let's actually see what's going on here, shall we? Nintendo Switch Online and Online Expansion Pack Overview Trailer.
Nintendo Switch systems enjoy more games, more features, and more fun with Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, let's see what we got going on here.
Here are some of the benefits you'll get with the membership.
And yeah, a lot of things here already. Online play, game chat, which is a Switch 2 thing. And this is all for the main online service, not for the expansion pass one. So you'll have, again, online play. For Switch 2, you'll get game chat. You'll get all the virtual console stuff, as well as Tetris and F-Zero 99. Nintendo Music, which is a new one. Cloud saves, game trials, which I don't think they've done one in a while. Icon shop, and then mystery surprises and stuff. I'm going to see what the main benefits are. Let's peep them real quick. So online play.
With
Makes sense.
online play and compatible games, you can enjoy gaming together, even when you're far apart. Team
Oh,
up
this
or
weird
battle
looking
against
game.
players
Yeah, the
around the world.
the roller chair basketball game. That looks weird. That one looks weird. Game chat. All right. Anything new
If you
here?
have a Nintendo Switch 2 system, you can use Game Chat. Hang out with friends and share your game screen with them. Enjoy playing games and chatting with each other as if you were all together in the same room.
Nintendo Classics.
With Nintendo
Yep.
Classics, you can play a curated library of classic games from different systems. Access these games whenever and wherever you'd like.
Got Game Boy, got NES, the oldies, the very good oldies. I'm gonna turn down the audio on here a little bit more just so it's not coming through on my mic as badly.
Multiplayer games locally. Or online.
Yeah, basic stuff here and there. We could probably save states. That applies to all of them. I want to try to jump over to expansion pass stuff.
Rewind feature.
Yeah. Member only games include Tetris 99 and F-Zero 99. Which F-Zero 99 I heard is really fun too, so I might give that a look eventually if I get an SO. Nintendo Music.
Your favorite Nintendo soundtracks on your smart device with Nintendo Music.
I kind of mess with that, I'm not gonna lie. They bundling in a Spotify subscription in there too. PlayStation could never. Also, Luigi's Mansion 3D mentioned in the year of frickin' 2025. You see that right here? That's crazy they brought that up. Nintendo, you ported Dark Moon over the Switch, but you didn't bring over the actual remake of Luigi's Mansion over. That would have been an easy sell, man. I don't know. I think it would have been more priority, I guess. I don't know.
You can also extend or loop some of your
But yeah, PlayStation could never. Nintendo put a Spotify subscription in with your online subscription server. That's kind of a cool thing, honestly. Also, unlike YouTube re-uploads, these would, on an understandable level, would be the raw versions of the music, right? So it'd be of clearer quality as well. I don't think you'd be able to download like with Apple or Spotify. At least I don't know if you can download them. But still, I mess with that fact that they put that in there.
Other membership benefits include
Additional benefits.
compatible games, game trials, and more.
Missions and rewards. Yeah, that's another thing too. I thought it was just icons, but no, missions and rewards. Very neato.
In addition to all the benefits mentioned so far, you can enjoy even more benefits with Nintendo Switch Online plus expansion.
This image right here should be more than enough to justify it, at least for me. Because again, you get more Virtual Console games, right? On Switch 1, you get Game Boy Advance, N64, and Sega Genesis. Along with that, you also get the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass, new Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC, and then Splatoon 2 DLC. But on Switch 2, you get GameCube, and then you get the upgrade packs for both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which I actually kind of mess with that idea. That's kind of clever. Them bundling in DLCs for some of their big games with the online subscription, I'm not gonna lie, is kind of a fun cost-saving measure. Again, PlayStation wouldn't be doing this. They'll make like a couple indie games, maybe one notable title free every month, which to be fair, yes, that's awesome, but also you're not really gonna play them usually, unless you're really like religious about playing those PlayStation Plus games, but I don't know about that. But in terms of this, again, it adds benefits to some of the games you can own. And if you don't own any of these games, then well, that's a little hard, buddy. I hate to break it to you, but again, it's a different incentive. You buy a subscription for online, you get more out of the games you love. I mess with it. It's a funner focus in my opinion. And again, PlayStation's like, they rarely, if ever, put first-party games out on their PlayStation Plus catalog unless the game sucked or bombed or just trying to get an extra push on them. For this, it's like, oh, you own these games? Here's a little more on us because you also are a subscriber to our online platform. People hate Nintendo Switch Online, but at least over time, they've made it more and more worthwhile for people to pick up. I mean, for God's sakes, we're getting GameCube on this thing. That's cool. That is tough. I mess with it. But yeah, alright. I gotta stream Wind Waker. I gotta stream Soul Calibur and F-Zero. I really, yeah, those are games I think would be very fun to stream eventually, even if they're just one-off streams. I don't think I'd mind. N64, that's a whole back catalog of stuff we could do. And yeah, oh, and this is the other thing, upgrade packs and DLC. Now, this is not going to include every Switch 1 game upgrade pack, but so far it seems like it's going to at least contain the 2 big Zelda games. Which, you know what, for people who enjoy single-player games, I think that's a fun incentive. And then also, included here, Booster Course Pass, so you get all the Mario Kart 8 DLC. Some Animal Crossing and Splatoon stuff, too. I've owned that before I even got an SO, so hey, that's nice. But yeah, they're putting the DLC into this whole online thing. Again, you play the games you want, and if you own NSO, if you own NSO, you get more out of it. I like that as an incentive, rather than just, here's a bunch of free games. And, again, it kind of messes with the value of the thing. I like that method, but hey, it's a whole other talk. I'm curious if they'll be adding more upgrade packs to the overall thing. Though, I do wonder.
Plus, with this membership, there are even more classic games you can enjoy.
Yeah, they're gonna add like freaking a Neo Geo and Atari next. Just watch.
More games, more features, more fun. Nintendo Switch Online.
I do not mind it.
Nintendo Switch Online.
It's kind of, it's alright. Yep, and another thing too. Unlike PlayStation Plus, which is like $80 a year, base NSO subscription, base Nintendo Switch Online subscription, $20 a year. And then for the expansion pack, $50. I will admit, I'm not. Yeah, and then for family plans, yeah, it's more so. Yeah, so you can add people onto that thing. I mess with that heavy. That's cool.
If you currently have a membership on Nintendo Switch, you'll be able to carry it over to Nintendo Switch 2.
I mess with it. I mess with that heavy. Alrighty then. I think another video's in order. This is something I'm interested in doing too, talking about what's coming out for Switch 2, because there's a lot of like launch games that have been like in and out and planned, but this is a general little overview about how much is gonna be there. That I don't know if it looks better. Does it look better? Kind of. Okay. A lot of empty white space here, but I'm not complaining too much. You gotta talk Mario Kart World. I mean, there's probably a... Hold on. Instead of just reacting to a Nintendo Life video without any commentary, let's find an actual freaking article about it and just talk about it then. Which is honestly the smarter thing to do. You know, these things are meant to be seen for that reason, so why not? Alright. So here's all the big games, right? We're getting Mario Kart World, the big seller, Deltarune, new episodes and stuff, I believe, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut, Nintendo Switch 2, Welcome Tour, Split Fiction, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 editions, and then a lot of other stuff, big notes being Bravely Default, Flying Fairy HD Remaster. Is that just a remaster of the first Bravely Default, or am I tripping? I got no clue. But on top of that, let's see other stuff. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, so it also includes, I think Phantom City is what the expansion to that was called. Of course, Fortnite, Hitman World of Assassins is coming out on there too. Hogwarts Legacy is getting the next-gen upgrade. A pack-in game idea that really should have been a pack-in game and not a separate product, but okay. Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is also... Apparently that's going to be a game key card thing. That's a whole other discussion. And then Split Fiction and Street Fighter 6. All solid stuff all around. That's a good launch lineup. For what it's worth, I do like a lot of it. They're really putting emphasis on the AAA games here, because again, like, a lot of these games came out last year. A lot of these games are super freaking recent. And people are going to be like, oh, well, what the heck is playing down... What's going on here with all this stuff? You know, like some of these games are like 5+ years old, or like at least 3. Well, yes, but they're running on a Switch. Cyberpunk 2077. Game came out in 2020. DLC, I think, came out 2 years ago, I think. Game's been getting upgraded. And according to comparison videos, it's running perfectly on Switch 2. Like, comparable to Xbox Series S level performance, which is actually really good. That's really good. Hogwarts Legacy had an impressive Switch 1 port, but they're going to make it available for Switch 2. Apparently, if people bought the game early enough, they could actually get the Switch 2 version for cheaper, technically, but I wouldn't know anything about that now, would I? Sonic X Shadow Generations. This has its own level of controversy because they're making it a game key card thing and not a physical game, which is very weird. I need to look into why on earth they're doing that. There's a whole talk about that, but we will have to wait and see. Split Fiction, that game came out this year. And then Street Fighter 6 is like, what, 2 years old? So a lot of recent, big, graphically intense AAA games are coming out. And then we also have Elden Ring coming out later on. And I'd imagine a lot more stuff. Like, Chad, I think it's kind of fair to say here that Doom the Dark Age will be available on Switch 2. Especially with how scalable it is to play that game on PC. Like, how scalable it is. They ain't it down in my mind that that game will be coming to Switch 2 eventually. If it can run on an Xbox Series S at a good rate, it will run on Switch 2 at a good rate. No questions asked. And then also a whole new version of Yakuza 0, aka the best Yakuza game. I gotta play it. I'm just saying, I ought to play that. But yeah, those are options. We have options, chat. There are games. The Switch 2 has games. It has games, chat. It has games. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Yeah, nah. But yeah. Yeah. You like what I see. It has good stuff here, and again, they're pushing more AAA stuff here too. Split Fiction literally came out like 2 months ago. That's a launch title. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of cool. Let me see. And I could look up too here the oh yeah, Delta Snake Eater, Borderlands 4, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I feel weird about that one, but that's not the point. We could look at all that all we want, but I actually want to focus on the upgradable games for the Switch 2. Let's see here. All right. Sorry, I ain't sick, chat. I just had something in my throat. Anyways, multiple games are going to upgrade packs. We saw these two already. They're going to be upgrade packs for the Switch 2, and they'll be free with NSO. Mario Party Jamboree with Jamboree TV. That actually looks like a solid upgrade. I'm not even that with Mario Party nowadays. I don't even flirt with Mario Party nowadays, but even I admit the upgrade seems pretty strong with how they're utilizing various Switch 2 features. Although admittedly a lot of them might be situational, but I'm not going to get into that. That just looks like it's going to be a good time. Like, come on. That looks like it's going to be cool. Star-Crossed World. Oh, yeah, that's going to be a fun thing. That might actually get me to play that game now, so we'll see how that goes. Sid Meier's Civilization 7. So, yeah, overall, a lot of upgrade packs are coming out. There's a lot of talk about prices, too. Let me see if I can actually find a... Here's the price for the for all the stuff and some release date stuff too. Let's see. $80 for Jamboree. $20 upgrade for people who want to buy it. Yeah, they list the prices here, and then like, oh, how much? All right, baseline price, upgrade pack cost, and then the release date, which I like. I like that a lot. And yeah, it is in 2 days. Today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, so Thursday's when this whole thing's coming out. That's clean. I like that. August 28th when Kirby and the Forgotten Lands DLC's coming out. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Pokemon Legends. Yeah, the people saying here Nintendo does not have a fully stacked year ahead of them. Dog, they're doing the same thing they did with the Switch 1, which I'm vibing with. It's not as much because, oh, we have 3 less months, but, like, still. In the span of, like, the next 6 months from now, a new Mario Kart, a new Donkey Kong, a new Hyrule Warriors, a new Metroid Prime, a new Kirby, and Free Riders, and then, oh god, Pokemon Legends ZA. That was the other one. I forgot about that one. They haven't listed the prices on these two yet, which I imagine because they're trying to determine it. If I had to make a solid guess, Prime 4 is going to be... I really want to say that one will be free. Same with Legends ZA, but honestly... Yeah, details to come. Yeah, so unless there's some big stuff with that, I don't really see it being any more than $10. But again, that could just be me. They also have some stuff on this too. Other third-party games. Shadow Labyrinth, the only other one, free upgrade, which I'm happy they're at least open to free upgrades. Hopefully there'll be more games that come out that have that range of price. Hopefully, but we'll see. But that's kind of all... Oh, and here's the free upgrades I was wanting to look at. So yeah, these are just straight up free upgrades that are very basic, but they're worthwhile, which include, I think all of these are actually at launch, if not later. I have no idea. ARMS, which is a very underrated game. I'd highly recommend that. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Big Brain Academy, Clubhouse 51 games, I'm sorry, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics. Oh, Game Builder Garage is also getting a... Okay. Okay, I mess with that. Okay. That was kind of a fun thing they did with the Nintendo Labo thing. They had, like, a Game Builder thing inside of the Labo kits they did, and they made it its own game. And that's going to be available on Switch 2 now, it seems, which seems very nice. Hopefully that becomes... Hopefully that becomes a... I'd have to look into that again. It's been a hot minute, but yeah, that's a fun thing they did. I vibe with that. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which again, they bring up demo available, and then these are all free upgrades. So there's no need to mention price. There's only just that and release dates. Scarlet and Violet, which we need to look at that one here in a minute. 3D World, Odyssey... both the 2D Zeldas, nothing much to it, but hey, it's cool as hell. I'm weirded out that they don't have HDR support for Link's Awakening, yet they have it for Echoes of Wisdom. That's kind of funny. Oh yeah, they also have game share support and all this other stuff for Mario, and also this. I ought to do a run through of 3D World. I own the game. I could do like a playthrough with some friends technically. I don't know. Let me know if y'all want to see that with like a couple of other people. But yeah, that's that. We gotta look at one of them, because it's surprising. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, aka one of the most critically panned Pokemon games, at least in terms of graphics and other things. Yeah, the Switch 2 version of this game might actually be goated. We gotta peep this real quick. Oh, it's Game Explain. I didn't realize it was these guys. Okay, let's see what it looks like. We finally have footage of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet running on Nintendo Switch. Oh, hold on. I need to... Oh, yeah, of course. Now, obviously, we're not going to get too far with that, so I'll at least put it at 1080p range. Okay, had to lock in our resolution there just to see everything. But yeah, it's not going to show up properly on stream, but hey, I can at least try.
And guess what? The frame rate is way better. Now it appears to be a nearly flawless 60 frames per second. Although I should note that there still appear to be some slight hiccups every now and then, as I did spot a few duplicate frames and going through the footage frame by frame. Like right here. You probably didn't notice, but I assure you it's there. And right there too. Furthermore, though Nintendo has
they flash on it, okay.
a higher resolution on Nintendo Switch 2, this new footage is only at 1080p. In any case, let's compare the game
which is why I put it there, because that's a baseline resolution for not just this, but also the monitor I'm streaming it off of, but yeah.
Left to the original Switch on the right.
Dog. Switch 2, Switch 1. Yeah, just look at that. Yeah, this is probably cleaned up for the actual video itself, but still, it is impressive that this is something they got for this. I mean, look at this. Peep the city. Okay, first, peep the resolution on all this. Yes, it's still low end, but like, it's higher. And look at the city too. This looks better. Like, just look. If it actually runs this cleanly on Switch 2, yeah, no, that might be something I have to look at, because, oh my god. I might actually have to consider buying it.
The full uncropped view. And stick around afterward for one odd thing I noticed.
Alright, we gotta put into the full... Oh, we can't really, does that... Hold on, is that gonna mess with the, actual stream? I assume not. If I'm not there, that's fine, but we'll see. But yeah, it's fair to say, again, just upgrades all around. Again, you can tell there's a cleaner frame rate. You can tell there's a lot of improvements. Just looking at everything. Yeah, I want to look at the particles in particular here, because again, okay. Oh god, I'm sorry. Okay. But yeah, at night, textures are upgraded here. They're still a little faded, but they look more naturalized, kind of like Breath of the Wild in a weird way, which is cool. Oh god. But here too, things do look cleaner in terms of, and it may also be because there's a lot more light in this area compared to here, where there's a more clear one. But even then, you can tell by the anti-aliasing, it is cleaner looking in terms of an image. Whether that's better or not, though, I have no clue. But I want to see the particles really quickly. Yeah, they're more intensive. The particles are more intensive in terms of bloom and other details on Switch too. Deeper look, okay, it's a little more comparable, but still the startup is more noticeable. Yep. I ain't saying that, I'm not saying that Scarlet and Violet's gonna be a good game once it gets the Switch 2 upgrade, but like, it just shows if they waited a bit on it, they might have actually gotten something. I'm just saying.
It's nice, isn't it? With the Switch 2 60 frames per second, being
Yep.
double the original Switch version adds very best.
Yep.
And I gotta give a shout out to Philippe over at Universal Nintendo for sending us a high.
I also have to imagine. Yeah, check Homeboy out, he's cool. But something I do want to mention too is I have to imagine if they're going to be doing an upgrade for Switch 2 as a free update, not an upgrade pack, a free update. The older version might be getting a performance update too. I don't know. It could be cleaned up a little bit. I'd imagine they made some performance tweaks to the original game before they worked on the upgrade. But that's just my line of thinking, at least.
High quality footage from Nintendo today. Make sure
Alright.
to give them a follow if you haven't already via the
I'm snotty a little bit, but it's just allergies, chat. Don't worry, I'm not sick.
It actually involves a final battle scene, as I actually had to edit the footage on Switch 2 to stay in sync with the Switch 1 footage. Because
Oh, yeah?
the Switch 2 footage ended up falling behind compared to the Switch 1. And I'm
Really?
not 100% sure why this is. My best guess is that on Switch 1, the game is straight up skipping frames at some points, whereas that may not happen on Switch 2. In any case, that's a relatively...
Oh, yeah, it is a little out of sync, yeah.
Switch 2. But there you go, that's
Which, again, might have touched up more things, and it's kind of noticeable now.
Let us know what you
But
think
yeah.
in the comments below. And with that, thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button if you haven't.
Yep. Check. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, we're good now, at least. Okay, we're good. Alright. But yeah, that's that for this. I just think it looks good. And you can make all the comparisons you want about, like, oh, they should have waited the generation before putting out Scarlet and Violet. Well, one, it's Pokemon. Those guys gotta do a yearly release all the time. They only delayed Legend ZA because, oh, it works better for Switch 2, but hey, that's... They only had that put into their skulls after this game came out, and even then, the Switch 2 version is improving it, so I'm not even upset about it. Oh boy. Oh, this bastard got it early. Chad, should we watch an unboxing video for the thing, or... I don't even know who Sid Harith Vlogs is. Let's see if another video comes up, because I imagine this is probably a, Oh yeah, they got a demo unit and everything. This guy just straight up got his thing early. Should we watch it and risk Nintendo taking us down because, the video in question is going to kind of contain sensitive topic? Oh, no, wait. We might be fine. Which one would be better for content's sake? Probably. Let's see. How's this dude doing? I've never seen this dude.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and
Let's
today
see.
I've got my Nintendo Switch. This just happened to come in early, 2 days before launch.
Oh,
So now I'm gonna
okay.
unbox it for you guys.
So you actually got it early,
between
sick.
This one and old Nintendo Switch, and let's try and play.
They also have a
game
notably
with this
smaller
and
box,
see
too.
What that new
From what I saw from
screen and new
comparisons,
features are
which is
like.
nice.
So let's get into it. Oh, so when you open the box, you get
They really tilted the Joy-Cons just to compress the space.
and you get the new
Easier to fill up
Joy-Cons.
a shipping container with more units, I
These
guess.
are quite a bit larger than the previous Joy-Cons.
That's gonna be fun.
And they also
Main Joy-Cons can barely fit in my
feel,
hands fully,
quite
like,
nice and
they are
clicky. The
tiny.
buttons feel nice on them.
Those
You
ones
get
look like they'd be a
the
good fit.
new Switch controller, which is
Oh, and the grip's also like a
magnetic,
slide and lock
very
instead
nice.
of
This
the...
is
Yeah,
so
that's
much
another
easier,
whole
the
thing.
magnetic system than the
Or I'm sorry, a press and lock instead of a slide and lock. My bad.
sliding
My bad,
system
chat.
that they used to
My
have.
bad.
Ooh, that's how you open it. Okay, very cool. You get a USB to USB-C cable.
And don't worry about me stealing content,
HDMI
chat. Trust me,
cable.
I'm not. I've done unboxing videos before. Those things are easy as hell to do. Again, you can at least turn it around for informative purposes. If you're gonna do a reaction video or an unboxing video, you gotta offer some good commentary. It can either be entertaining commentary, which is nice. Don't get me wrong. I'd like laughing sometimes too. I wish I could more, but hey, that's just me. But in terms of something like this, it's like you should probably try and be a bit more informative about things. I don't know. That's just my
You
take,
got,
though.
the
Those things alone are
I guess the
14
bumpers
bucks.
for
I
this
think
thing
for
so that,
either
you can
individually,
play
right? I have
this
no
in controller
clue.
mode.
That's a crazy amount of money, though, for that.
You've got the new dock,
That dock
which is
looks sexy. I ain't even gonna
about the
lie,
same
Chat.
size
That's
as
a
the
sexy
original
ass
Nintendo
duck.
You've got a power outlet. You've got two USB-A ports on the side and the dock connector.
I don't even know what's going on in the chat. Hold on, let me peep the freaking. Yo, hey Link, how's it going? I just saw your comment, man. Yeah, we're waiting for the 8 Deluxe to update again before we go back in. But yeah, no, we're just chatting about Switch 2 right now, man. Hope you're having a good night. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, okay, back to it. Let's see what's going on here.
A USB-C power brick.
Yep.
Very cool. And let's check out the Nintendo
Le
Switch.
tablet.
Ooh, that screen looks quite nice.
Apparently, there is a protective
quite a
seal
bit
on
bigger.
the tablet as well that you're not supposed to peel off. It's actually to protect it from sun glare. So if you do get a Switch 2, don't peel off that protective layer. That's essentially a screensaver. You're not going to want to peel that off. Trust me. You
And
really
the
will not want to.
original Switch. So here, I think I need to connect the whole thing up so we can see the size difference between these guys.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a whole camera angle
So
different,
much
right?
Nicer
Pop
than
it.
having to slide it in.
I also have to imagine it's a lot
this bad boy
nicer to
on.
hold because of size, but just because something's bigger doesn't mean it's going to be nicer to hold.
So this is the original
Already. Yeah, okay. Rough size difference, but look at that. I think that's like a 25% size difference. That's still big.
Switch versus the new Switch.
That looks nice as
quite a
hell.
bit bigger. The screen looks massive. But man,
Yep.
this does look like a nice console to play. Let's
Mm-hmm.
quickly do the setup of this guy. I'm going to connect my phone, I think, and we can go through the setup process. Connecting it to my...
Oh, we're not going to look at it, bro's personal info. He's doing his thing. Alright.
But, let me try the USB-C cable. I don't think it's working yet. So basically what's happening is I'm on system version 19. And I think I just basically I can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because
Might be good, though.
do more
Might
with
be.
the Switch. Let's check out play this way. And I know it does.
It's definitely a
support,
fun
like,
little-
some kind of mouse mode as well.
Yeah.
Curious to try that. I don't know.
I think you're supposed to do that with the grip on I think that makes much more sense because I think there's actually stuff on there that makes it easier to slide around. That's a fun gimmick, though. I do vibe with it. I have to wonder, though, if they put COD or Doom Dark Ages on this thing, they're gonna have mouse support. You're essentially making it a miniature laptop, which adds to my argument Nintendo was doing some crazy shit with this. Now, I don't think they're going to put an internet browser on here because their user agreements mentioned that, oh, you try to brick or hack the system, you will indeed be, your system will be bricked if you try to hack this thing, which really sucks. I imagine hackers will get around to it eventually, but still, kind of crazy that that's even something that we have to worry about now. But if they did have internet on here, these things will be used as a mouse, no questions asked. And who knows how many benefits there's going to be with this mode. I have to imagine there's going to be at least a few, but we'll see.
How comfortable this would be.
But yeah, the idea of them making this like a miniature tablet, or not a tablet, but like a little laptop kind of. Like, if they sell a keyboard accessory, if they sell like a keyboard accessory for the Switch 2 in like a couple years, like literally just a little keyboard pad that hooks up to the bottom USB-C port, then yeah, no, they definitely plan to make this thing like a little laptop. All they need to do is just put on some sort of painting software. I'm thinking a new Mario Paint, maybe another music app, a Mario Music app. I don't know. They have options. They have options, I'm just saying. I mean, Game Builder Garage is getting updated for this thing too, so they are one to do fun, creator-driven apps like that. Wouldn't surprise me.
Output 4K HDR imagery to your TV, so I'm very curious to
That's some good image quality.
It's got HDMI 2.1 support.
Again, the minute they told about this thing hitting 4K 60, I knew immediately, oh yeah, this thing's gonna be like over $400. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine if the console's a little pricey as long as the games remain at a good price, but we'll get to that here in a bit.
Up to 60 frames a second externally, and there are games like Zelda which have been upgraded to take advantage of those capabilities of the Switch 2.
Zelda, knew all that stuff.
This Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I'm quite interested to check out.
I'm excited for that new Donkey Kong game. That looks hot as hell. Not gonna lie, that looks hot as hell. No, it looks fun as hell. I'm dumb. Oh my god.
Solid. It's still made of plastic, but compared to the original Switch, it's definitely made with high quality materials.
Say what you will about this thing being expensive, but at least it should be built to last. It's not like an iPhone where it's like, in 3 years we'll have to replace the thing because of either heat damage or the charging port got messed up or something else. No, it's actually gonna work.
You know, the original Switch very slightly, but considering these buttons feel so much, also got inbuilt 256 gigabytes of memory, so you can save a lot more, and add a SSD. I think is still a SSD slot on this. Apparently not. You do have headphone. The buttons are pretty much the same as the original Switch. There is an additional C button here. But
the game chat one, yeah. I mean, I get why Nintendo didn't want to put a Discord app on this thing, because Discord can get hacked and other stuff can happen with that easily. Right? There's at least a reason for why they made some of the choices they did. Right? For game chat, instead of just doing Discord, because let's be real, everybody has Discord. Nintendo doesn't need to put that app on Switch 2 to make it work. They could put on their own version, just have it be like a fun personal network between school friends and everything, which I actually really like that idea. That works better, honestly, than just freaking going in and being like, here's Discord, where you're going to have a bunch of people who are like double your age try to hit on you while you're just racing around in Mario Kart. You know, that's not really fun. No one likes that at all. No, that's not fun. That's just creepy and gross. Anyways, get back on that screen.
Same. The stand feels much nicer, like the way it comes out, the way it feels, the level of
that did worry me a little bit because a lot of the actual back is gone, but I don't know. It's still two ends getting supported there, so who knows? Maybe it was just for dexterity and durability's sake.
Let me just check if I can. Alright guys, unfortunately I could not find many games to play on this thing, and I'm not even sure it would work without the software.
Yeah, no, I'd imagine you get that thing early. They have a street date on the consoles that allow you to play them, so yeah.
You know, like so much nicer.
That has to feel nicer. That has to be why they did the whole push and snap thing with it too, so they could add more volume to this end to make it feel nicer. And who knows? That might be why. That might be it. Who knows?
It's just that additional size difference, you know, like the new ones are about 20-30% bigger.
Years. It's very nice looking.
Joystick over here.
Indeed, it looks very nice and crispy.
All that together gives it a more
Crispy and
ergonomic feel.
crunchy.
This one just felt a bit
Emphasis on the crispy.
This one feels better. It's still not great, but
Yeah.
you know, much better.
That's like,
And this
yeah,
one-
those controls were always meant to be like held by 4-year-olds. The fact that Nintendo even made those controllers bigger and added more inner volume so that way it could be better to hold in that way, I respect that.
attachment system. I mean, like the number of times that
That's gonna be a
I've
fun thing to
fiddled
own.
with this and put
Hopefully I can get my hands on one of these things so I can play some games on there for y'all, because your boy does indeed plan to get it. I'm gonna try to hit up a midnight launch party to see if I can snag an extra bundle of Mario Kart World, but that's just me. That's just me. Who knows if that'll happen. Pray for me though, because I really do want to try to get this thing to play.
it's a really nice
But
piece of tech.
we'll see.
Yes, if you want more Switch
But yeah, that's about it for that. Okay, I think we are good now to go back into, and let me just get that started. Let me just swap it over to not that. There we go. That's the bad boy I wanted to look at. Okay, let's get back into... I thought the whole point of waiting this entire time was going to be to update. Consoles getting bricked when getting hacked has been a thing since the 3DS. Yeah, no, that's probably why Nintendo stopped using the internet thing, because it was not as easy to hack them. Because most common hackers, all they need is an internet browser, and bada bing, bada boom. They can easily hack those systems. Now it's taken a good couple of years to fully unload those things and get emulators working on it and everything. So there is precedence. Oh, God. Let's just start the software, and if I have energy after the next set of, videos, we could, yeah, I think that's a better option than anything else. Go through another set of, courses, and bada bing, bada boom. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, okay. 3.03, so it is a little newer. Oh boy, I see more stuff now. Lovely. Okay, let's actually, and let me see here. One second, I'm trying to run through a few things. Alright, back to it. Okay. Let's go for another Grand Prix. We're going back to that 150cc. Oh, they do have the stuff here. Yeah, there's new characters because of booster course packs. Again, if I get NSO and people actually want to play this game with me, I would be down to do it. It's just a matter of, would you rather play the old Mario Kart, or would you rather play the new one and just have fun driving around and just talking shit, you know? There's a whole talk about that. This guy's still... No, you wiener. Oh, okay, no, not that guy, okay. Let me try to get my boy Link. Get me that boy. I just realized. Hold on, I need to look at this. Alright, so this is, the one on the right, the Link icon on the right is my usual VTuber look and how I look on streams. The one on the left is how I look in Xenoblade Chronicles X. Look at the hair difference, dog. Like, nah, actually, that is hilarious. Alright, but enough chit-chat. We gotta get into another race. Now, alright, we already did the Banana Cup. I actually really like this cup. A lot of the maps are a bit basic, but, yeah. they're still really good. Just because they're basic doesn't mean it can't be good. You don't have NSO. No, I do not have NSO, sadly. Very sad. And look at all the courses. I'm not going to look at all those because I actually would want to be surprised for an actual, like, future stream or whatever. But yeah, no. Alright, keeping it to just base Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Banana Cup is kind of underrated, honestly. We ought to go for something more interesting. The Flower Cup, I think, that's a popular one, though. And I love it, don't get me wrong. Mario Circuit's great. Toad Harbor's fun. Twisted Mansion's cool, and Shy Guy Falls. Those are fun tracks. I ought to say we do something a little else. Mount Wario's a little bit of a weird case, but I do at least respect the one-way course track, and I wish we do have more like it. I think the only good course here, the genuinely good course, at least in my opinion, was Wario Stadium. Otherwise, the other ones I did not care that much about. Yes, even Music Park, because we had Electrodome in the Star Cup. And then this one. Just to talk shit about all the cups and everything, like just from my own personal experience. Good starter cup, love it. Most people only play the same for Moo Moo Meadows, which I am blocking that one, so let me peep this down here. But yeah, Mushroom Cup solid. This one I do like a lot too, although admittedly, again, these four are meant to be basic cups. This would be where the original game was getting a little more intensive. But again, it works well here. But yeah, solid set. I wouldn't say Mushroom Cup's my favorite. It probably would be Flower Cup or Special Cup. Although Special Cup is kind of ruined by Rainbow Road. I don't like the new Rainbow Road. I vibe with them making it like tied to a... I like the fact that they made the new Rainbow Road tied to a space station. That idea is not bad at all, but it's very weird. This one, old school. Yeah, if you'd swap this one, the N64 Rainbow Road, for the one in Mario Kart 8 on this, Special Cup probably be my favorite set of courses. Just because, in that theory, we would have Cloud Top Cruise, Bone Dry Dunes, which, yeah, that also is kind of a bit of a dud. Maybe put another one, I don't know. But yeah, mostly solid courses all around. Two of my favorites in the game, and then this one, which has more great stuff. It's a whole discussion. And then there's also the original DLC courses too that were released for 8 Deluxe. We still have to look at these. Hold on. Yoshi's Circuit is too popular for its own good. Excite Bike Arena, I like that a lot too. Dragon Driftway sucks. Mute City, I vibe with it. Baby Park, everyone was wanting that to come back. Cheeseland, it's cool they brought another Game Boy Advance track back, but that's it. Wildwoods I like. Animal Crossing's fun. SNES Rainbow Road, oh my god. Hyrule Circuit, and I'm gonna say... I don't actually remember this one. I do think I remember liking Bell Cup a good amount. We oughta... Let's go for this one next, actually. I want to look into this. But yeah, we gotta go back to the past, see what's up, because again, I remember liking this cup a good amount too. Alrighty then, let's see. Alrighty. Alrighty, chat. Boom. Let's go. And with this build, your boy ought to be drifting, no scoping around the corners left and right. Peep beer. Oh, that definitely did not hit anybody. Hard-ass drifts, guys. Peep this. I'm zooming. Oh, God. What? I had all 3 bananas, you bastard. Oh, God. Yeah, especially for this course, yeah, you're gonna need those. I remember this course sucking bad on 3DS. Oh, my God. Like, just the turning, I remember hating it on this course back on 3DS. Now it's like, oh my god, it's actually manageable. I like this. Oh, and the sign flips. I love that. Isn't there like a clown car or something that you could use to boost over the finish line a little bit? Alright, buddy. Let's see you try to get in front of me now. You won't. I'm zooming. I'm not zooming. I'm not zooming. Damn it. Oh god. Yeah, no, I'm sucking in Toadette. Toadette's gonna be the winner here, I guarantee it. Oh my god. Unless... Yeah, nice. Oh, there it is, yeah. I don't know if our vehicle will even get ahead of that, but that's just me. Oh, you crap. There we go. Hit him up. Hit him up real high. Now, if I can successfully clear these corners. I might have a chance. Oh! Oh god, no, 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 you bastard. No. Oh! No! Oh! Oh! Toadette, you suck. I need to rain hell on this woman. Come on. Give me some red. Sick. We got this. Gaming. No! Oh, that is a... That's an urge to deal with. Oh my god. But we got it. Oh man. But yeah, let's peep the next course. Alrighty then. Let us get to Ribbon Road. I actually remember liking this one a lot. Oh, bastard. Oh, you suck. Yo. Nice. We have Elite Gamer. We have an Elite Gamer. Elite Gamer Ludwig. What the hell? I didn't know there was a cheat cut like a I didn't know there was a shortcut like that, dog. Damn, he might actually be gaming. I didn't know we were racing against the actual Ludwig. We got the boost. Oh, you bastard. No, I did not mean to throw that behind me. Why? Oh, you so bitch. No. Hold on. If I cheated, yep. Oh, this is what the hell you're going for. Let's see. Can we make it? Oh. Brr. Oh, that sucks. Anyways. I got the double block. Screw you. Oh, God. Yeah, if I thought a second sooner. Man. Well, you waste your horn, bruh. You lost. You lost. You're downright screaming. But I can turn inward. Suck it. Oh, you bastard. Oh, God. Oh, that's just gonna go after some helpless sap in last place. Oh my god, I'm crying. Here, just leave it. Pray to God I poop somebody. Ah, man. What the hell? Oh, nah. Oh, dirty ass. I'm in 5th. Oh, no. Let's boom it. Man. That was trash. That was some straight basura. Oh. Man, okay, we got a lot to live up to next race, guys. Let's freaking try it. Super Bell Highway. I have to remember this one. This is the one I was confused by, because, like, this is a weird one. There we go. We got that time, and let's go. You peep the corner turns, baby. Zeus. Bastard. Oh. Oh no. Oh. Oh, I was too greedy. I got greedy, man. Oh no. You chum bucket ammo. Oh. Sicko. Bastard. Ugh. Oh! Oh, yeah. Oh, I got some of this, so that nice. Oh, this is gonna be chaos. Oh my god. Hold on. Boo! I have poomed Ludwig. We say win in Chad. Bombs! Nice. That's all a little fist bump, Link. You know what you were doing. Ah. Let's see if I get somebody. I doubt it, but we'll see. I'm gonna rebuild my coinage. My coinage. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh god. Ooh. That was tight. Little horn. I didn't know Link was that kind of dog, but okay. Oh lord. Ugh. Get me off that thing. Oh. Can I stay on the roof? No! Oh. Oh, come on. Gaming. We gaming. Nice. Okay. Was a very nice run through. Indeed. 'Tis good indeed. Let's see. Big Blue. Yeah, this is the one I remember liking a lot too. Yeah, and the F-Zero music too is also an amazing touch. This, I believe, is a one-way course too, so we're going through a wholly original thing. But I think that makes sense for an F-Zero track, because this game is also just so freaking fast. You know, like I said, I want to give GX a shot eventually, because I think that definitely would be worth playing through. Oh. I'm going too fast, gang. Somebody stop me. Oh. Game. Oh, yeah. Okay. We got max coinage. You know what that means? You know. Well, almost max coinage. I mean, fuck. Oh. This is just a stylistically nice course. I love the design and flow of it. Again, I want to play F-Zero because I hear everyone talk about it and it's like, oh my god, it sounds like the coolest racing game of all time, but like, it's probably not. I mean, it's fun. I played Fasta RMX, I believe, when that came out on Switch 1, and I was like, oh man, that's actually kind of fun. If that's what F-Zero's like, then sign me up. I believe there's a sequel for Switch 2 as well. I'm not sure, though. I'll pray to God somebody gets hit with that. What? What the hell? Oh, Bob! No! Oh! They ain't catching me. They will never catch me. Nice. That was quick. I'll admit that was a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. Alrighty then. Let's see that. Okay. Yeah, let's see the results. But yeah, that's a very fun. Yeah, that was shorter than I thought. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Alrighty then. I ain't gonna hold it to you. I enjoyed that, but that was quick as hell. We gotta do another one. Just really quickly. Sorry. Again, just, man. Allergy season sucks, man. Nobody wanted to go out in the summertime here in Florida, dog. This shit sucks. Alright. Let's see. What we ought to do another. It might be fair to say to do another one of these. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Baby Park's base. I don't know. I'll save that one for later. Let's do the Flower Cup real quick. Sorry, chat, had to go through, had a message pop up. No worries. Anyways, but yeah, let's cope over not securing a Switch 2 pre-order a little more by playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Why not? And yeah, I do not own NSO either. I've gone into I talked about it a bit on Twitter about, like, oh, this being, like, a sort of last-ditch thing to do after college, because, like, realistically, I did want to start doing streaming. How did that I'm starting to interrupt my own speech, but, like, dog. That red shell? Biased. Nah, I gotta call you out, Mr. Red Shell. You biased as hell. You didn't go after... You didn't go after Daisy? Ha... What? Sick. Ow! Nice. Bars. That's probably gonna come back to bite me in the butt here in a minute, but I don't care. But as I was trying to say before, but yeah, after freaking getting out of college early, you know, one of the things I did, just for cost-saving measures, man. Yeah, there's no dodging a blue shell unless you could, like, frame one that sheer, but hey. Like, how often is that gonna happen, let's be honest? I'll blow them up here in a minute, don't worry. But yeah, cost-saving measures. I ended up cutting out NSO from my budget plan. It was the base model, too. Reasonably speaking, if I got a hold of it for streaming, yeah, expansion pass. Yes, we're going to play GameCube stuff. Yes, we're going to be playing a bunch of online games with other people. I mean, we oughta. Why not? That sounds like fun. Like, would I not want to do a 4 to 8 hour stream where I just body people as Young Link and Smash Brothers Ultimate? Does that not sound like something that should be watched? I think it is, because, yeah. Oh. We're human. And that's that. Another blue shot. Dang, these guys are really trying to kill me out here. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Man. And yeah, no, it kind of sucked not having online for a bit, but I kept PS Plus because that one was actually feeding me games. I've learned now, Chad, PlayStation Plus is a cancer that must be cut out at all costs, because that's $80 out of your pocket for essentially a couple of free indie games every year, which ain't bad, but still. Like, I don't know, I'm not gonna play all of them. I'm a working class adult. I do not have time for that sheer. Baby Peach, I hate you. Who the hell thought I was gonna need to put the babies in Ugh. As I was trying to say before I humorously knocked myself. Who... I get there are probably roster filler spots, but who the hell deadass looked at this and was like, oh yeah, a baby. That's the new character. That's what we gotta do for Mario Kart. And it's like, dog, that is a... They don't even know how to read. They're like 2 years old. Let me see down here. Yes, sir. Solid. Not tragic. Solid. Well, not tragic yet. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, bastard. Ugh. Again, tragic. But yeah, going out after college, I admit, it allowed me to reconnect more with some of the people here a bit more. Which, you know what, for being out of college for like, what is it, about 2 years? Brother. But for being out of college for like, I think about 2 years now, it's like, I don't know, working a little bit as much as I can has been doing good. But again, I want to put more emphasis on the streaming front. Oh god, please. Please, Oh, you fell for it. Damn. What it's like falling for a crypto scam. Trying to run into a mushroom that's concealed by a banana. It looks promising, but it's actually gonna ruin your life and your savings account. Don't do it. Only in Mario Kart will you hear me make crypto jokes. I'm talking about mushrooms and bananas. Again with the blue. Why? Oh, you asshole. Yeah. Peach really thought she was gonna succeed this. Now get your Anya Taylor-Joy voiced ass out of here. Really thought, huh? Damn. Damn shame. Alright, I think we have one more course, I believe. I forgot. Nope, we're only halfway. Okay. Gotcha. Really nice. Boo Manor. I don't remember a metal Boo face being in the original Luigi's Mansion, but hey, I could be remembering that wrong. Again, red shells just fucking over us. Oh my god. Well, it's gonna matter because I'm still gonna win, but hey, that's just me. Oh my god, more bananas. You'd think I'd be Donkey Kong with how many banana peels are left in my wake. What he's spitting with that. That was a full turn. This one ought to hit, right? Yes, sir! Ooh, screw that baby. No! Bro. Oh. Oh, that hurts. That physically hurts. It's alright. I'm gonna take this baby's lunch money. Keep this. Oh god. Ugh. I'm actually kind of surprised there's not more spooky, like, ghost-infested areas in Zelda games. Like, yeah, Zelda has spirits and other, like, ghost-like characters, but, like, they also don't really have, like, a gathering place from, like, the Mario games, which I find funny. Baby. Oh, Lord. That did not go as well as I hoped. Little did the baby know. The baby barely changed in size, that's funny. Little did you know I had a mushroom. And now. Too soon. No. Get this oh my god. I was about to say, just get this baby away from me. Okay then. I think we are ready to move on to the last race. Not of stream. No. I'm just talking about, like, in general. I gotta wonder, though, what is Nintendo really gonna do for, like, future Virtual Console add-ons? Like, are they just gonna keep going into the DS stuff and 3DS stuff? Are we gonna get the entire backlog up to Wii U, or... That's kind of a little perplexing thing they got going on there, but I got to ask that. And again, a lot of the Wii U games are also on Switch, which, admittedly, probably made earning a lot of money on that system easier, because really, they had an entire system's backlog that was made up of really quality games that nobody bought, because they were on the Wii U. I mean, look at this. This is one of those games. It's cool as hell. It's like one of the highest selling games on the system. Meow. Shy Guy Falls is nice, though. I love the vibe. This actually feels very Zelda-like. This is actually very fitting, then. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. No! Damn. Fair enough. Just freaking... I dox Peach, I get hit with the red shell, and then she hits me with the bomb. That's a funny combo. Oh lord. No one told me the child was going to be terrifying. Oh god, too soon. No. No. Please, hit somebody. Oh god, you guys. Ah. How did you get? Stupid. No, I could have ran her over. Nah. Oh god. Please. Oh, that sucks. I can't see anything now. Yikes. The banana so well hidden. Everyone's gonna get smacked up the head by it, not even noticing it. Baby Daisy, I want you to fall off a cliff like Kirby. Oh no! I'm getting third. I'm actually gonna get third. That's insane. That is insane. Dang. Imagine getting mixed by like a 4-year-old and then they're... My thing, yeah, my thing's on. Okay, good. I didn't know if I was on dead air again or not. That happens sometimes. But that's it. That is the flower cup, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we're gonna do a little bit more videoing. Come back to this afterwards, and then, bada bing, bada boom, we will probably finish up. So let me actually... Yeah, we gotta do this whole thing. If I'm gonna do this whole switch 'em up style, I'm gonna have to kind of do this. So yeah, I had it popped up on accessories, but for right now, do a couple funny videos. I'm gonna save this one for last because I really want to do it as a way to like, oh, that's cool. They have a interesting. But yeah, no, the we'll go through some of the videos. I do want to kind of save this one here for last, but we'll start going through some more of them.
The Switch 2.
Boring! Have I seen all the leaks? Where's the Switch 3?
Dog.
Introducing.
Why they have... Wait, hold... Well, why... why they got me in that? Wait a minute.
Boring! Have I seen all the leaks? Where's the Switch 3?
Dog. They really be sending Mario out here to beat my ass for talking all this shit. I'm crying. Alright, this one I think is gonna be worth looking at. Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. Is it worth $10? I mean, dog, the fact that your game is even... this little pre-packed tech demo thing is being sold for $10 already is kind of telling, but...
Without question, the biggest
we'll see.
discussion surrounding Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour has been its price point, meaning that it has won it all. Welcome Tour will sell for $10 on the Nintendo eShop on Switch 2 launch day, and for a piece of software mostly focused on teaching players about the new console they just spent at least $450 on, many people, myself included, have argued that it should have been a pack-in game.
Yeah.
Price drama aside, I recently spent about 45 minutes with Welcome Tour, and to be completely honest, came away somewhat intrigued and maybe even a little bit excited to play the full thing on June 5th.
Really? Oh, so it's like an actual expo thing. Okay. Let's see.
Before you call me,
And I know IGN's not really the most tolerable source in the world to go over with this stuff, but hey, I didn't see any other videos talking about it, so might as well.
Shill in the comments. Let me be perfectly clear. I'm not totally in love with this game, and Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour is not going to interest most players in my estimation. But if you're a mega Nintendo enthusiast like me, who follows the company's quarterly financial results, reads every Ask the Developer article on Nintendo's website, and could tell you the difference between a DS, 3DS, new 3DS, 2DS, and new 2DS XL, this is for you. Welcome Tour is an edutainment game with the goal of teaching you everything about Nintendo Switch 2 through exploring, mini-games, tech demos, and quizzes, and it has just enough of that Nintendo charm.
Yeah, and you going through all that allows you to explore more of it, I think.
After selecting my character from a seemingly endless line of Honey I Shrunk the Kid-sized avatars, I really wish Welcome to
I'm surprised it's not Mii's. Like, actually, that seemed kind of odd that, oh, you can't, it's not your Mii's going around on the same. This seemed like a perfect game to use the Mii's for. I don't get why they didn't use them.
I was set loose to explore the left Joy-Con 2 and the Nintendo Switch 2 console itself. To progress to the next area of the console, I needed to find all the hidden stamps in these locations, which are tied to specific parts of the unit like the touchscreen or the cooling vents. But during the search, I stopped by activity stations laid out on each part of the map. One minigame had me test out the mouse controls by piloting a UFO trying to survive against an endless stream of spiky iron balls.
Yeah. Again, this is why people were saying it didn't really seem that worth the money.
Or 2 stars, depending on how long I lasted in that endless challenge. The mouse controls felt good, and after just missing out on the top rank, I felt the drive to try again for the high score. Earning more stars grants access to harder minigame difficulties, and the menus indicate there are plenty of medals to hunt down. The most memorable tech demo so far had me play World 1-1 of Super Mario Bros. From the NES in 4K in its original resolution.
Huh?
Since the NES worked with so few pixels compared to modern
Oh,
technology,
that's
kind
okay. I vibe with that. That's kind of cool.
And it's a cute way to look at how far we've come. This demo had 5 achievements to complete, which should be a breeze for anyone familiar with the course. Other demos, which are tough to show off in an online video, showcase
I kind of mess with that, actually. That's kind of clever. Say what you will about Nintendo, but they're at least clever all the time when it comes to their games. Like, there's something about it. Any of their games, there's always that it factor.
Elsewhere, Welcome Tour's insight quizzes shared some fascinating information about things like why they settled on the U-shaped kickstand and how Switch 2's front-facing speakers are an improvement over the OLED model.
Oh, it's going that deep. Okay.
I found it genuinely interesting to get a look at Nintendo's thoughtful design behind multiple aspects of the new hardware.
That's interesting.
Again, mileage will greatly vary depending on how
Oh,
much you
why
care
is
about
the
these minute
why is it
details.
censored?
For someone who covers this company that's
Is that info they don't want
incredibly
sharing?
secretive, this level of knowledge
Kinda
and
sus.
transparency was refreshing. After Welcome Tour's announcement, I assumed the information presented within the software would be common knowledge to hardcore Nintendo fans and come across as an advertisement for a product you already bought. But it legitimately doesn't feel that way in practice, thanks to how in-depth and niche some of the details are. Even though I enjoyed Welcome Tour more
So
than
it's gonna be like going
expected,
back to
I
actual
want to believe
developer
more strongly
commentary
that it
and
should have been
notes.
included with the console.
I see.
It's a charming, light experience that grants fascinating context to the hardware it's designed around.
Only issue I have, again, it's weird that they didn't use the Mii's. That's a nitpick, but still.
World sessions on launch day. Instead, everyone has to decide if it's worth their $10 to learn about the Switch 2 cartridge slot and watch an HDR fireworks display, and the whole conversation surrounding Welcome Tour has suffered because of Nintendo's irritating decision to charge for it. To help you
Yeah,
decide if you want to
that's what
spend
it's gonna be
your
remembered
$10,
for.
stay tuned for our
That's what
full
this will be
review of
remembered
Nintendo
for.
Switch
The
2
tech
update
demo
coming
that
shortly
you
after
have to
launch.
pay for.
And for more Nintendo Switch 2 coverage,
Which
check out the
sucks.
final preview of Mario Kart World
Okay.
and our first hands-on impressions of Donkey Kong Bonanza.
That we're not gonna look at any actual games hands-on. I just wanted to look at this one because I was curious. Buying guide, ultimate accessory guide. We're gonna look at these guys. Kid and Krista, fellow Nintendo video hosts. I don't know, what do they go over here? I think it's a lot of third-party controllers and stuff. Like, I mean, if you're looking for a good case, yeah. I mean, we could go over, y'all better be following these two already. Kid and Krista, these guys are freaking OGs. They've been around for years in the Nintendo community. And they're still doing stuff on their own channel. So that just goes to show you. But, yeah, okay, 8-bit 2 Pro. I heard these controls are really nice. Hudson, I do not care for you. I do not care about your summer sales. I'm poor. Oh. But yeah, 8-bit though. These guys do good controllers. I think I nearly considered buying one of their little 8-bit pads back in the day with the Switch 1 because they look so interesting, but I didn't end up buying it. This is a modern version of that. I want to look at, oh, and here's, I think, one more comparable to the original ones, yeah.
So if you want something that's more focused on D-pads.
Yes.
Yeah. If y'all hate holding the Joy-Con sideways, pick up one of those. I've actually held it a couple times, and it's pretty good. It's a very nice snug. I'm just trying to breeze through some of these a bit, because, yeah, we're trying to go over a case. We gotta get a carrying case. People will be taking this out of their houses.
More price effective. There is one thing here that is like a splurge that we do want to talk about.
Yes. If you want to be classy.
It's the City Slicker case from Waterfield, and
man.
they are doing waves
Ooh.
of pre-orders on these.
Yeah.
So it's not something.
Yo, that looks like something I'd tote around. Holy shoot.
It is nice.
I do
It's
have
beautiful.
it.
Damn,
I
the
do have
leather.
it for my 3DS. So this, I love this.
Okay, I like it.
You had it for your 3DS, and it looks so nice.
So it
oh my
has
goodness.
this leather on the front,
Yeah.
but opens with buttons. The system goes here. It's got spots
That's
for
just
games.
clean.
It has
High quality
a
stuff.
zipper on the back.
Yeah.
It just looks classy. Like
They got a version for Switch too, that's hype.
alternative of that.
But yeah, you gotta look for a good carrying case. This one seems fun, but I do want to look at the chunkier boy, the shock absorbent case. That looks like something I'd tote around, no questions asked.
This kind of shell has become more popular recently, and that's what this is. And it really is like similar to this
Similar
one,
to this, but even smaller, I think.
right? And you can plug that into your Switch too.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other stuff too that they don't have in here, but
Perfectly.
It's kind of full. It's kind of full.
I do vibe with it. Okay, these guys are good. I love these guys. But not really much else to go over in terms of accessories. I thought it was going to be like, oh, main accessories. Buying guide what to avoid. I want to look at actual accessories like this. Nintendo is selling a 480p camera. Like, dog.
We have the Nintendo Switch camera, which will bring you about 55.
I think they also said you could use your own camera if you wanted to, so you don't even need to buy this one. But apparently that one works better because of green screen effects or something. Whatever.
Video chat. It would also allow you to share your own screen to someone else and see up to 4 screens with video chat. Another accessory will be the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, which
yeah.
is $85 in US and
I've been playing Mario Kart with mine. I don't think I'm going to be upgrading it. The only benefit to it is that, oh, it has the capture button, but that seems like any controller where it's like there's a button, it will pop over this, I think. If they give us a good view of it anywhere here.
And will have pretty much the same feature, but the only thing that differentiates the two is the Switch 2 Pro controller will have HD Rumble 2 and 2 additional
back triggers. Yeah, I saw 2 tappable back triggers. Upgrade HP Rumble, and then this button. I'm sorry, any button that is closely placed next to the joystick that I can just tap by accident and not even notice. Yeah, no, I hate that. I hate that so much. Like, dog. It's mostly just because my fingers slip. Like, oh, I'm moving quickly and trying to shoot in a game, and then suddenly I tap the home button by accident while still moving. Like, dog, I did not want to do that. That was not part of the plan. But yeah, let's peep the rest of this real quick.
mappable buttons in the back. There will be an additional Joy-Con at launch costing $95 in the US and
I'm not trying to do that, don't worry.
$125 in
That is crazy. $95 Joy-Cons is wild.
Here, the only added feature is the HD Rumble 2 and the ability to go into mouse mode, which will act like a mouse in selected tabs.
Yeah.
Now let's run through the other accessories because they're pretty much self-explanatory. We have the Joy-Con charging grip.
I hate that Nintendo decided to adjust the price on the accessories because I don't see $95 for Joy-Cons working out. Dog, that'd barely be able to justify it at 90. You'd have to do 80 for them again because, like, why? Like, oh, you could use them as you could use the Joy-Cons as a mouse. Brother, if we have drift on these things again, dog, I don't want to shell out nearly $100 just to replace them. That kind of sucks. We'll go into all that in the actual next video, but I wanted to at least give a look over some of the accessories. We're not going over these. We already went through these.
If you're a fan of more
$14 for the straps, dog. Just why? There's just weird pricing things going on. I don't like all of it. No one buys those things, dog.
if you're looking to add a dock to your living area, then the Nintendo dock set will be for you at the low price of
I could see why people would want that. But why is it $120, dog? I mean, maybe it's because they're actually putting the... I think that's because they're putting the actual DLSS 4 tech in that thing, but still. And I'm going to make a note, too. I've notoriously gone on beer chain about DLSS 4 and the compensation for power on the 50 series cards. Switch 2 has the exact same technology. DLSS 4 is also on Switch 2. It upscales the games to 4K 60. Difference with Switch is that one has been a long-awaited upgrade that actually has a good amount of graphical improvement. It just has an upscaler on top of it to smooth things out. The GTX or the RTX 50 series cards are not that good of an upgrade. We've waited like 3 years and it was nothing substantial. It's just a lot of AI and that kind of sucks. Like, dog, we've been waiting 3 years. Games are becoming harder to run on our 40 series cards, dog. Like, come on.
For your Switch, well, I got the perfect item for you.
I don't know, it's just weird.
Carrying case and screen protector starting at $40 in US and $50.
Yeah, no, third-party option for that one. I've always done third-party cases, carrying cases for my system, so just because it has more legroom, maybe not for that one, but still.
We have an additional Nintendo Switch 2 AC adapter at $35.
I think this is the tail end of this. And then
only $60 in US and $85.
Can we use our own cards?
In Canada. All right, that's pretty much it for the only $60 Samsung 200. And in my opinion, I say the best for last, and it is the 256 gig Samsung micro SD express card for only $60 in US and $85.
I don't know. I don't remember the whole controversy with the SD cards or everything. I think the one in my Switch one will work on it. It has to be formatted, but still. I don't know, though. It's a weird little case scenario. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Alright. We got that done. I want to go through one more video. It's a longer video, and I'm going to offer more commentary on it, but I think it is absolutely worth mentioning. This is a video that just got put out 3 days ago by Did You Know Gaming. These guys, I love these guys. Their content has always been the best I've seen in terms of like historical documentation, and also a lot of the people on board them. They work for Beta 64 among various other people out there that have insider knowledge on these things. They're great to cover Nintendo history and all that stuff. I loved watching these guys back then. They put out a video called Price Hikes Could Cost Nintendo Big Time. And I wanted to watch this because I think this really sums up. Watching up to half, I think around here a bit, I knew already I was going to group these guys on this whole video. So we're going to watch it. I'm going to offer some commentary on it. Add a little more to it. But yeah, we're going to watch this. Check out Did You Know Gaming. Those guys are legends in their field. Make no mistake. Hopefully you all will enjoy this with me. Without further ado, let's watch this real quick, and then we'll go right back to Mario Kart 8 for 2 more course cups, and yeah, let's do it. History time, baby.
Nintendo made almost as much profit from the Switch era as every other generation combined. It
Yep.
wasn't because they sold more consoles and games. In fact, they sold a lot more in the DS Wii generation. How they actually pushed profits to record highs was by consistently charging $60 a game and
Yep.
finding new ways to make money, like charging for online and expanding into mobile games. PlayStation used to trounce Nintendo, but at this point, Nintendo's twice as profitable as their old rival, which might make you wonder, why are they hiking games to $80?
Yep.
I'm sure by now you've seen the Toys R Us catalog.
People forget Nintendo has Mario Kart Tour and freaking Fire Emblem Heroes for iOS, and those games make a lot of money for them. I'm pretty sure they say it in the video too here, but Fire Emblem Heroes has made more money than every Fire Emblem game released combined. Just let that sink in for a minute, alright? I mean, it just goes to show you the power of the mobile game and the gacha, but, yeah, no. They talk about a lot of stuff here.
Logs, inflation calculators, and a little
Yep.
bit of online art.
Yep, all this. Oh, yeah. Okay, April 2017, $300 gets translated to $400. $660 from April 2017 inflated to February 2025 is like $80 now.
We'll talk Switch 2 prices soon enough. But first, we're going to set up some historical context, because a calculator can't tell the full story.
Right.
Not only for prices, but what Switch 2 represents.
Yep.
The end of a Nintendo era, and the start of a new one. We've been leafing through annual financial reports, and we gotta tell you, even if you know the company's history, it makes you see it all in a whole new light.
Yep.
So today we're gonna look at the past half
I was kind of
century.
blown away by a couple of the revelations. Splitgate 2. I mean, this is just Halo meets Portal, right? Yeah, it looks fine. Not really here for that, though.
To the launch of Switch 2.
Yeah, let's
Maybe
do
that
this.
Sounds like too much context, but by the end, we think you'll see it was merited. Follow the money, and you'll understand how Nintendo got where they are today, and where they're likely to go next, and what it could mean for their biggest fans.
Yep.
In the 1970s, Nintendo mostly made toys and playing cards under their longtime president Hiroshi Yamauchi. Unfortunately, it was a decade of recession, and Nintendo's headquarters got hit by an earthquake. By 1980, they were deep in debt and on the road to bankruptcy. But then everything changed when Nintendo's lead inventor Gunpei Yokoi created Game & Watch.
The legend.
It was a
Gunpei
huge
Yokoi is a
hit all
freaking
around the
legend.
world. Quadrupled annual
We have
profits,
all their
and
handhelds.
all
We have
their
handheld
debt
gaming as a
fell
whole
swoop.
because of this
It
man.
was the end of their money troubles and the beginning of their transformation into the video game giant they are today.
Yep.
After making some arcade games, in 1983 they used all their Game & Watch money to develop a home console, the Famicom. Yamauchi told them
Easily
to
like
make
the
it
best.
cheap,
Yeah.
so it could sell for under $100, an ambitiously low price even back then. Famicom was immediately successful, but Nintendo was the only company making games for it. Profits actually fell that year, mostly because Game & Watch was cooling off. They bounced back in '84 though, when third parties started making Famicom games too, and paying Nintendo for the privilege. In 1985, Famicom was reworked into the NES and brought to America.
And Mario Brothers came out that year as well.
And over the next few years, Nintendo found their way into 1/3 of American homes and got a foothold in Europe. By 1988, profits had doubled again to nearly $500 million. Nintendo released Game Boy the year after. Everyone thought it had flopped because of its monochrome screen, but it defied expectations and sold faster than Nintendo could make them. Super Famicom hit Japan in 1990, and Super Nintendo in America the year after. It wasn't quite as successful as the NES had been, but together with Game Boy, it
swig
made
of water while the
1991
video goes
their
on,
first
but
year
yes.
to hit $1 billion. In just a single decade, Nintendo was making 50 times more since Game & Watch. The mid-90s was a rough patch, though. Competitors like Sega and Sony came for the crown, so Nintendo threw the kitchen sink to fight them off, like Satellaview and Virtual Boy. But even their flagship console, the Nintendo 64, was a huge letdown. It sold less than Super NES and barely more than Sega Genesis. Things weren't looking good.
Barely sold better than Genesis.
$500 million
Damn.
in annual profits, but at this point they also had.
Well, wait, hold on, let me repeat that
they
part.
were still making less and barely more than Sega Genesis.
Yep.
Things weren't looking good.
That's still
They
a
were
sizable
making
success,
$500
though, I'd
million in
imagine.
annual profits, but at this point they also had $3 billion in expenses. So if things kept getting worse, pretty soon they'd be broke. But then out of nowhere they got extremely lucky. 10 indie devs working out of an apartment made a little game called Pokemon and released it on Game Boy.
Yep.
Everyone had high hopes for Pokemon, even the people who made it. But it
I can talk shit about Pokemon all I want, how I don't really have an interest in a lot of the games or all that. But that's undeniable. Pokemon was huge. Yeah, look. Yeah, freaking look at this, alright? This is the timeline of the Game Boy, right? 89. Peak originally was 91. A little over 10 million, right? It started declining. About dead. It was about... It is about here, right? It's back here. Pokemon comes out, and look at how high that gets.
Gave it a second life.
And it only falls back down again, turn of the millennium. So, yeah.
Made it bigger than ever. Game Boy
There's a reason
itself
Pokemon became a phenomenon.
their 90s
The numbers don't lie in that regard.
Super Famicom to 64DD and everything in between. Nintendo had just happened to make a small investment in Pokemon years before, and now found themselves partial owners of the world's hottest game franchise.
Yup.
Spin-offs, merchandise, cartoons, trading cards. Pokemon
Secondary
was
business.
absolutely printing money.
All of that was second
By
business to the
1999,
games.
Nintendo hit a
But,
new
like, it
record.
did so much better because of it.
$1.5 billion in profit.
Again, Pokemon as a game series would have been remembered fondly by a lot of people, but it's because of the trading card game, because of the anime, that it that it grew the way it did. That can't be denied. That just can't be denied. And again, it had a wide reach because of it. It had a solid game series on the Game Boy. The trading card games was popular throughout school, and teenagers that were a little older had the Pokemon anime. Right? You were able to appeal to a wide range of kids around that time. Ages like 6 to 14. And yeah, a lot of those kids are like adults nowadays doing what I'm doing. Either just working, living a day in and day out, and also buying more product because, well, they're still big fans of the franchise, or they're streamers checking out the newer games and playing it for people like y'all. It's always been kind of like that. And how it'll always be. Let's continue.
Going good again. But with
Yep.
their livelihoods depending so much on Pokemon, they were in a vulnerable position.
Mm-hmm.
The early 2000s were frankly not great. Pokemon Gold and Silver sold like hotcakes, but a lot less than last time.
Yeah.
Seemingly, Pokemon was a fad on its way out. Nintendo launched GameCube in 2001 thinking it'd be a big success, but it got destroyed by PlayStation 2.
But that's PS2 though. That's the PS2 though. Like, okay, NES. Balls out the gate. It was good, right? And it kept getting better and the sales started dropping, but like PlayStation started out right here and only went higher because of it. Like, it was just shown. The graphical tech and leap was more impressive. At least how I'm seeing it. Because, yeah, Nintendo went from 8-bit, 16-bit, 64, and then 128, 256. I think it's 128, I believe so. PlayStation started out at 32 and then jumped to 128. There was also just more drive because games on PlayStation were just blowing up at the time as well. Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, the PS1, there's at least one game that you could recognize in your friend's household that was on PlayStation 1. It's recognizable. That's the whole thing. Should I put this in full screen? I kind of want to put it in full screen. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, let's try it again. Full screen time, boys and girls. Let's go.
Did better than GameCube. It still didn't come close to reaching the highs of the original Game Boy.
Yep.
Its games didn't do as well either. Pokemon, for example, was still trending downward. Everything was trending downward.
Yep.
A lot of people thought before long Nintendo would have to give up the hardware business, just as Sega had done after Dreamcast. It was at this point Nintendo decided to change strategy. Prior to 1990, they followed Gunpei Yokoi's two philosophies, the blue ocean and thinking sideways with mature technology. In other words, instead of using cutting-edge tech, they took old tech and made it fun, in ways no one had ever thought of before.
Right.
That way they were competing on ideas, instead of who had the best microchips. It also let Nintendo sell stuff for cheap, so anyone could afford to play their games. Game & Watch, for example, was basically a reworked calculator, and Game Boy was monochrome in an age of color. The competition, like Sega Game Gear and Atari Lynx, did have color. Game Boy's batteries lasted longer, it sold for a much lower price, and it came with Tetris as a free pack-in.
Oh yeah, the pack-ins sell these things. You want to know, the best Nintendo systems always had a banger pack-in game. Game Boy, Tetris, Wii Sports. It's just how it be. You get a good enough game that sells the concept of the system, and yeah, you're going to get people addicted, no questions asked.
Petition 10-1. That was Nintendo's old way of doing things, the Yokoi method. But
Something casual,
Nintendo
but
and up
effective.
until GameCube, they abandoned Yokoi's philosophies to focus on power and technology.
Yeah,
PlayStation was 32 bits, so Nintendo
that's
leapfrogged
kind of
to
the big
64.
flaw. Nintendo are perfect when it comes to innovating on ideas and doing stuff like that. I didn't ask Verizon, shut up. But yeah, Nintendo, they're at their best when they're innovating, doing crazy things. And obviously you can't do that all the time, but it's always worth looking into. And again, power should not always be everything. It's just a matter of premise.
Resigned soon after, saying
Premise, not
Nintendo
core.
used to be, that he helped
Or
build. Some other guys went with him
yeah,
to start
core not
making
premise, either they're the same. It's too similar of a term than name, but y'all get what I mean, right? Power won't sell it. It's how you innovate and how you make it interesting, how you let it have people grapple onto it. Like, it will sell to hardcore people, sure, but like there's a lot more casual gamers out there than hardcore gamers, regardless of what's said. You, as a developer, as a publisher, as a console maker, have to find an appeal in these things that is easy for the casual fan base to leech onto, but also free reign. Yeah, for the casual audience to leech onto, but also something that will get the hardcore fans excited. And Nintendo's really good at that when it comes to innovation. They've always been, and always will be.
Nintendo kept pushing forward and made GameCube more powerful than PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Couldn't win on that battlefield. Sony kept clobbering.
Also, I don't think they had a DVD player in that thing either. I'm not sure about that one though. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that was just the Dreamcast though.
And saw they couldn't keep on the way they were going. He decided to change course and take Nintendo back to Yokoi's philosophies: sideways thinking and the blue ocean. Be different and be affordable. And that's why, instead of a more powerful Game Boy, in 2004 we got Nintendo DS. At the same E3, Sony unveiled the PlayStation Portable, which was technologically far more advanced, but DS whooped it anyway.
Yep.
A rerun of Game Boy versus
It'd be
Game
whooping
Gear.
feet.
Nintendo finally beat Sony because they returned to the battlefield of ideas. And just as importantly, because DSs sold for $150, while PSPs were $250. A couple years later, they launched the Revolution, also known as the Wii. It was weaker than Sony and Microsoft's consoles, but again, sold at a much lower price. And it had a great new idea: motion controls. Nintendo of America's president, Reggie Fils-Aimé, fought to make Wii Sports a free packet to show what Wii was all about.
It sells the console.
So in Japan, Wii Sports wasn't bundled in. But
yeah, Japan didn't like that idea, but that's what sold it over here. It was such a casual but effective seller to most people.
Nintendo won a home console war.
Yep.
Back on top. Iwata made the right call to return to Yokoi's ideas, and Reggie was right to give away Wii Sports.
Yep.
In fact, the numbers suggest without Wii Sports, Nintendo would have come a distant third in that generation. Fortunately, they did pack it in, and at the peak, Nintendo was making $5 billion a year.
Yep.
10 times more than the N64 era, when they were at the height of cutting-edge tech. Between Wii and DS, they sold over 250 million systems and almost 2 billion games, a record generation Nintendo's never surpassed even to this day. Unfortunately, they got overconfident from their success and strayed from some core values. So when they released 3DS in 2011,
which is a good system,
at $250, millions of die-hard fans bought it at launch. Then sales fell off a cliff. No one else was buying them, and for the first time in modern history, Nintendo was losing money. Iwata cut
I hope y'all are seeing the parallels to now here, because that will be brought up later.
And other top executives followed suit. Some fans remember Iwata did it to avoid layoffs, but his base salary wasn't even $1 million. The company, though, was losing hundreds of millions. There were no layoffs, but that's not why Iwata did it. It was about solidarity and symbolism. The same day, they slashed the 3DS's price down to $170. Nintendo was now selling them at a loss, in hopes they could earn it back in game sales. To make it up to the loyal
which was solid, don't get me wrong.
Nintendo announced the 3DS Ambassador Program, which gave them 20 free NES and Game Boy Advance games. The plan worked, and 3DS sales skyrocketed. Ultimately, it never reached the levels of success as the original DS. It was, after all, an evolution rather than a revolution. But at 76 million sold, it ended up being about as popular as Game Boy Advance had been. So,
a little more variable in scale, but still.
That was going on, Wii U came out in 2012. It sold out at launch thanks to the usual diehards. So much so, they were getting scalped on eBay. But then,
early eBay scalper days, man.
Nintendo
if only they knew.
$100 for the basic model and $350 if you wanted more storage and Nintendo Land as a pack-in.
Yeah.
It was selling at a loss.
Again, just a higher end Wii U, which works well for Microsoft and PlayStation because they do their own things on top of it, but
its failure was really more about Nintendo's hubris.
Yep.
They were overconfident and too expensive. Iwata took another half salary, knocked $50 off the deluxe model, and before long was bundling in free games as well. But this time, didn't turn things around, and only ended up selling 14 million units. Nintendo was 3 years in a row. and only managed to
Wii U era, though, I remember being awesome, though. Like, yeah, all the games got upgrades and improvements on Switch, but, like, back then, they were still great games. Right? For me, at least being, like, I think, like, 11 to 13 when I got mine, it was, like, the funnest thing ever for me. It brought joy to my life, which is when I was dealing with middle school. And if everybody knows how middle school is, yeah, that was a good thing for me, that I had that Wii U. Although, it was just, I could go home and just relax and play a fun game that allowed me to take my mind off of a lot of darker things, and it was nice.
the generation's back half.
Same with 3DS, great games.
Suffice it to say,
Great games, just fun times all around. I enjoyed every second of it, no questions asked.
2015, at age 55. But before he went, he got the ball rolling on Nintendo's next system, the Switch. It was sideways thinking and blue ocean top to bottom. A hybrid console you could play on your TV or out on the go, and even cheaper to produce than Wii U. Iwata was famously a developer, but a gamer at heart.
Yep.
After he passed, the next president was Tatsumi Kimishima, who prior to Nintendo spent 27 years in the banking industry. He was always meant to be transitionary, so in 2018 he stepped aside to let Shuntaro Furukawa take the throne. At university, Furukawa majored in political science and economics, then joined Nintendo as an accountant. He later moved into marketing and climbed the corporate ladder all the way to the top, where he remains to this day. These guys are on record having played some games, like Mario Tennis Aces, but we think it's fair to say in their hearts they're really more businessmen than gamers.
Yeah.
Iwata invented the Nintendo Direct, so he could talk to fans and keep us updated on what the company was up to. Contrast that with the new president, who keeps investors up to date at shareholder meetings, but doesn't show up for directs. A year after Furukawa took over, Reggie retired as NOA's president.
Yeah.
He wanted to spend more time with his family.
It's like
Replacement was Doug Beck.
2019 onward really became an end of an era, and then COVID hit, and it's just so much happening all at once, man. It was just hard to process it. I will say this, though. Besides the few obvious little things to nitpick about, though, about later stuff, it's still Nintendo. Those guys still are doing great work regardless. Even if I want to say their new Zelda isn't the best, or want to say a few other choice words in regards to some practices they're doing, especially now, Nintendo is still looking to make fun, is still a developer about making fun games, and I will commend them for that much more than I will harshly criticize them for a few odd business choices here and there. Right? At least they're not like a lot of American developers or like other developers where it's like they do all these bad business choices and they also aren't making a lot of games, or they're canceling more games than not. Nintendo is like, like a couple of the business choices have been a little weirder in the Switch era, but they're still doing good. They are still doing good. They're still making great games. They are still doing great when it comes down to just making an easy to access console. I can go on, but I ain't gonna sound like I'm glazing these guys too much, because no company, no matter how good they are, is free from criticism. And we'll get more into that here in a bit. So let's continue.
Bowser, who'd previously been an executive at Electronic
I like Doug
Arts.
Bowser. He's cool.
In addition to running the American branch, Bowser later got appointed as executive officer at Nintendo Japan as well.
Yeah.
But that's getting ahead of the story.
He might be one of the only few good people to come out of EA, honestly.
Launched in 2017 and sold out
in my opinion, at least. He's a lot more real back than Reggie, but still.
Came and went, normies continued buying Switches in droves.
Yep.
Games flew off shelves too. For comparison, back in the 90s, Ocarina of Time sold 8 million copies. On Switch, Breath of the Wild sold 34 million. Mario Kart 64 sold 10 million, while Mario Kart 8 sold nearly 70. And Pokemon bounced back too. For generations, they'd been stagnant around 15 million. But on Switch, they nearly doubled their player base.
Yeah.
Something we haven't addressed yet is profit margins. That basically means for every dollar you make in revenue, the percentage you get to keep as profits, after paying all your expenses. To businessmen, profit margins are very, very important. Historically, Nintendo's margins were around 20-25%. On Switch, they got up to 35%.
Yep.
Switch had higher margins than any Nintendo system.
Right.
Much higher than the competition. PlayStation sells twice as much product, but only makes
Also
half
because
the profit
PlayStation makes
because
bigger
their margins
games
are
and
10%.
everything.
In the years since PlayStation started charging $70 a game, they've only barely stayed above water. Meanwhile, Nintendo's making bank with $60 games.
Also because they
Much of
haven't
that's
really
thanks to your
done...
boy's old sideways thing.
Also because they haven't really put out as much as Nintendo. Like, Nintendo's first-party output has been 3 to 4 big games a year. Whereas PlayStation usually does 2. So I don't really think that's a fair comparison to make because their output levels are different, but nonetheless, that's still fairly impressive. Just looking at all that, it's still impressive.
Mentality. Switches are cheap to produce. So
Yep.
they can sell them for $300 and make money doing it. Compare that to a cutting-edge PS5, which even at $500 initially sold at a loss.
Yep.
The same goes for games. PlayStation's cost more to make, Nintendo's cost less. With Switch's high sales and low costs, it was already on the road to huge profits. But
The bigger the
Nintendo's
games,
leadership wanted
the
to
more they
push
have to
margins
make.
even higher.
Which
In the
sucks, but
past,
hey.
Almost every system from Game Boy to Wii U had Player's Choice and Nintendo.
Yeah,
Selects,
this is
which
something
lowered
I'm not
prices to
was not a big
$40
fan of that they
less
ditched for
after
the
they hit
Switch.
benchmarks like 1 million copies sold. In recent generations,
Yeah.
they go all the way down to 20. But
Yeah.
they put a stop to that.
Yeah, and I get the idea of it is like, oh, they want to show that these games are premium and everything, but also like, what if somebody wants to try Pikmin or try a game from a franchise they're not really familiar with and they're intimidated by a $60 price tag with all their money going to waste? That's where I feel like it's weird. There's a lot more I can even say about it in regards to Switch 2. I'll wait till they actually talk about Switch 2 or at least cover the basis for that before I go into what I think of it and then what they should do with their games or, in my opinion, what they should do.
That in the Switch era.
Let's
Games
go.
Typically sold for $60 full price.
Yep.
And stayed there pretty much forever.
Yep.
Let me tell you why we had Spectrum. I'm on a
Yeah, we don't mess with this. No. Get off my screen. Get off. Thank
Former
you.
Nintendo employees said the strategy is to train our brains to, quote, respect the value and never
Yeah.
expect discounts. In other words, train us to think Nintendo games are automatically and forever worth full price. It doesn't matter if...
And I get that too, but here's another thing as well. The $60, yeah, it's a good amount of money, but it's a good amount of money. Where it's like, it's a high amount for what you're asking for, but it's still not that high end compared to everything else. Like, Nintendo being the ones to do the first $80 game, I felt like is a horrible choice. Even if Mario Kart World is being a pack-in title with Switch 2. Right? Even with that, and that really the extra value is going to be like a $50 uptick in price compared to just buying the Switch 2 on its own. Why even bother doing that in the first place with that full $80 price increase? That just doesn't make... I could go into that forever, but we're just going to keep moving before I think too hard about it.
Budget title or over a decade old. If you see a Nintendo character's face on the cover, you should respect its value.
Yeah.
So far, the training's worked and paid
It has.
dividends for the guys at the top.
It might also just be because the Switch is super successful, but that's neither here nor there.
Mario Kart 64 launched for $60.
Yep.
In less than a year, Nintendo had made their money back several times over. So from that point on, it became a $40 player's choice.
Yep.
Compare that to Mario Kart 8, which released on Wii U for $60, then came to Switch 3 years later at the same price.
To be fair, though, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they brought in the DLC that was available for the Wii version, and also revamped the battle mode and made other smaller changes. So, they did change a good amount where it did feel newer, but again, I get what they're going with here. It was a revamp
to this day,
on
with
top
only
of being a
modest sales at
remaster.
rare intervals. Also, keep in mind that back in the 90s, physical cartridges and physical stores ate up a good chunk of the price tag.
Yeah.
Switch carts are cheaper to manufacture, and half their sales are digital anyway, so Nintendo gets to keep a bigger piece of the pie. Add all that up, and Mario Kart 64 made around $250 million.
Yep.
While 8's closer to $3 billion. plus extra from selling DLC.
Yep.
Though we should keep in mind, development costs have risen over the years.
Yep.
We know from interviews that making Mario Kart 64 cost around 5 or 10 million. Nintendo's gotten more secretive since then, but 8 was probably closer to 50 million. And development isn't Nintendo's only
Realistically, yeah.
There's R&D, marketing, HR, and so on, and they spend more on all that than they used to. And of course, most games don't sell Mario Kart numbers.
Which is probably why they were okay with charging that one with $80, because it's Mario Kart. It's going to sell huge regardless. Like, the highest selling game here is freaking Animal Crossing, and that only got as popular as it did because COVID happened the second it came out. All the lockdowns and stuff happened once this game released. And people got this shipped to their house being like, okay, well, you can't do real-life stuff right now, so enjoy it in this game for like a year or two. And everything else still sold very well. Make no mistake,
they do
but
massively outsell their insignificant counterparts, and their prices stay consistent at $60.
Yep.
Apologies if that was a lot of math. Point is, they're not only selling more copies, they're charging fans more over time, which raises profit margins. And it's why comparing modern prices to
let me rewind that just to so everyone catch that.
Point is, they're not only selling more copies, they're charging fans more over time, which raises profit margins.
It's business, sadly. And yeah, look at this.
90s catalogs is frankly kind of irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's the economy of scale, which is basically you sell more games, your margins get fatter. Nintendo used to pass a lot of the savings on to fans, but nowadays it has profits to shareholders. All this largely applies to other generations as well. Twilight Princess was a Wii launch title for $50, eventually discounted to $20. Breath of the Wild launched with Switch, sold over 4 times more, and still cost $60 with $20 DLC. Besides training us to respect the vet.
I don't really think that's a value thing, though. And yeah, it is a sign of corporate greed regardless. That's gonna be shown regardless. If Nintendo brought back Nintendo Select or Player's Choice and did, like, let's say halfway through the Switch 2's life cycle, they announced that they're re-releasing certain games under a new banner, a Nintendo Select Player's Choice banner, where they cut the price in half. If it's just for like the first 3 years of Switch games, say like, oh, this game's going to make all this money now, and then in order to keep it relevant in the future, we're going to not only make it a Nintendo Select thing, but we're going to start doing bundles with some of these games. So we'll do it for Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, or not 8 Deluxe, World, in like 3-5 years from now. Give it time to sell at that full price. I think now especially, it would be best if they did that, even if the price decrease isn't even half, it's just like $20. I think people would gravitate towards that more because, again, it's a more casual, affordable price. I feel like with Switch 2, they're going to have to do some drop in price at some point because, look, regardless of how the tariff thing goes, it's not going to be sustainable to sell a handheld console like the Switch 2 for $450. That's not going to be that's not going to be sustainable after a bit. It's reflecting the 3DS in every way. Where it's like, it's an upgraded version of the previous system that has a neat new innovation to it. It's graphically more powerful. It's sold at a higher price than it arguably should be. But, you know, it launched on rockier ground. Only sells to a certain amount of people at the beginning, but then the sales decline after that. And, well, the 3DS happened, and it sold half as well as the DS did. Which maybe Nintendo's hoping that's the case. Maybe they're like, say, okay, it has to sell at least half as well as the Switch 1. We could focus on other revenue streams in the meantime, like the upcoming Mario movies, the Zelda movie, and other efforts into TV and movies, mobile games, theme parks, all that stuff. Because let's be real here, they're definitely getting money from Universal on that front. That's a fallback for them easily. A very good fallback, in all honesty, but that's just how their business has been. That's how it's going to continue to be. There's no real change in that. Let's continue.
Nintendo's new leadership found a few more ways to increase profits as well. Wii, Wii U, DS, 3DS, none of them charged for playing online. In 2018,
Yeah.
Switch started charging.
People hated this, especially at first. Like a couple years later.
That's about 20
okay.
times more than virtual.
I get, yeah. At launch, it was not a good idea. If they had come out the gate with NES, SNES, and Game Boy on NSO, and just says, here's a bunch of the Virtual Console games, you get those along with online, I think people would have been more warm to it, because the $20 package they have now is great, and the $50 one even is looking appealing now too, because of all, not only N64 and GameCube titles, and probably DS and 3DS in the future, if I had to make a guess, maybe even Wii. I could definitely see them adding Wii and DS games to the expansion pass in the future, but DLC efforts, yeah, no, you get some DLCs, maybe a couple Switch 2 upgrades for free if you have a subscription. That's like $50 a year. Heck yeah, that's good value. People will play all that stuff too. It's not like PlayStation Plus where, oh, you get 3 free games a month, but unless you're only focusing on that as the games you're playing and not like all the hot new releases coming out, then well, you're not really taking full advantage of that. People are going to take full advantage of NSO in one way or another now with how much they're adding in terms of just features and everything else. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I kind of like the NSO take on Virtual Console more so than the old ones. Like, yes, streaming them ain't really fun, but like also, and yes, there's not as much as the Wii or DS, but like you weren't going to get that close anyways, unless you give it more time and really work out a couple of licensing agreements. But even then, it's like, yeah, do what you gotta do, I guess.
Console used to make. Mobile's another new source of income.
Oh yeah.
Nintendo was famously opposed to the idea and said the company would, quote, cease to be Nintendo if we got into mobile games. After years of pressure from investors, he eventually
that face of water looks off-putting as hell. I'm used to like the 2014, 2015 era version of him.
That free-to-play games were a scourge. After he was gone, his successors made a bunch of free-to-play games anyway, and packaged microtransactions, loot boxes, and subscriptions. Games like Mario Kart Tour and Fire Emblem Heroes have made billions.
Crazy part is that stuff worked.
Sometimes thousands.
Yeah.
Heroes is the biggest cash cow of the bunch, and appears to have made more than
it's
all
an
the real
anime gacha game.
Some of y'all are probably thinking,
if I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all for a minute here, I could see Nintendo doing the same thing with Xenoblade in a couple of years. Like, either because Fire Emblem Heroes is just losing steam and it's not making that much money anymore, or like it's coming to a standstill. They're like, we have to shut down the servers and everything. We got to relaunch and put in a new franchise or something like that. Them doing any sort of Xenoblade successor to a game like that painfully seems likely, even if I don't like it. Because again, a lot of the sales and characters that are in Fire Emblem Heroes now are alt skins of other characters that are really just them in different outfits. Xenoblade 2 had an archive of alt colors and alternate outfits. You just add more to that and bada bing bada boom, you're selling a lot. They're probably, yeah, no, Xenoblade as a gacha game is terrifying to me as a fan. But I could see the value in them doing that, especially if it elevates the series in the same way that Fire Emblem Heroes did to base Fire Emblem. People started giving a crap about the games even more so. Like, casual fans were giving a crap about it more so than ever. And that's what led to games like Fates and Three Houses really selling well and then going into later stuff. I can argue about that all day, as much as I hate the idea of them doing a Xenoblade gacha, but the idea is there. Even if I don't like it.
well, good. They're making more money, which means more games.
Exactly.
Actually, they're making fewer games.
This is the other thing, too.
Era, we got 7 first...
Yeah, this is a crazy freaking thing. So, Wii and DS combined, they were making about 42 games over the course of those 6 years. Over the course of the Switch one's 8 years, they were only making 22. Which I honestly could just chalk up to a quality assurance thing. Like, maybe they really want to make sure that some of these ideas would work, because the DS did not have... Like, besides a couple of odd first-party games here and there, you could argue the DS has a lot of forgettable shovelware, even from Nintendo in some cases. Like, yes, the DS is the most sold system ever, but, like, what about the games on it, though? are any of the games on the DS being talked about frequently in the same status as something like Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Metroid Prime, etc.? It doesn't even, not even like that, but like Sunshine, Twilight Princess, freaking Metroid Fusion even. No, not really. That's kind of weird, the weird drawback. And this is also not counting ports. This doesn't count Wii U ports, so it is going to be lower. 2 to 3 first-party games a year.
But on Switch, we get 2 or 3. Not counting ports and remasters, Nintendo only released 22 new games over the Switch's 8-year lifespan. They publish fewer.
Let me look at that little fact. I didn't see that. Not counting ports, remasters, faithful remakes like Mario 64 DS, and counting all DS, GS as... or all DS Nintendogs as one game, Labo is one game, etc., to make all count fair and consistent. Yeah, that's fair.
Released 22 new games over the Switch's 8-year lifespan. Fewer second and third party games as well, but mostly we want to focus on first party. You know, the ones with that famous Nintendo magic. So look at the main mascot. For 3D Mario, we got Galaxy 1 and 2. But Switch only got
crazy as hell that we got 2 3D Zelda. Okay, pause again. We got 2 3D Zeldas on Wii and Switch. Mario, we only had 1, and that might be because they were working on Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that game would run like error on Switch 1, so they had to wait for Switch 2. Which, fair enough, I get that, but like also, that is still over 7 years without a new 3D Mario. I'm just saying, I hope they did finish work on Bonanza in like 2022 and are currently knee-deep in development on an actual new 3D Mario, because that it would be... I love Donkey Kong, but that'd be a travesty to not have another 3D Mario for the system the first 3 years of launch. Like, oh my god. Like, just thinking about that is crazy. And yeah, this is different too. One per system and everything. New Super Mario Brothers and New Super Mario Brothers Wii feel very similar. One just has 4-player multiplayer. Mario Brothers Wonder feels like a wholly new and creative game, which I think is also part of this whole thing too. They did less, but they were able to pull together more resources to create more interesting creative games, which honestly I prefer in the case of the Switch 2 than I do with the Wii or DS, even if I do like some of the games they put out for them.
And the sequel on Wii, but Switch only got
fewer but better games.
Mario
essentially
Kart saw new entries on DS and Wii.
Yep.
Switch never got one. Instead, they ported the Wii entry. And that's
which we're playing right now, actually, but well, we're supposed to be playing them, but we're watching this video instead. Speaking of, there we go. I see new comments. Hold on, I need to take a minute. Hey, dude, I really love the energy and the positive in the stream's version. Let's go. Hey.
Currently, they've got $15 billion sitting in a piggy bank, which is enough to make 100 Marios.
Yep.
Nintendo's most profitable year of all time was 2020.
15 billion in savings. Yeah, no, that...
Stuck inside and playing a lot more video games than ever before.
Yep.
It was also the year Nintendo did some time-limited releases. Most famously, Mario 3D All-Stars and
that
Mario
I own that, but that's still crappy that they did that.
Seemingly, it was intended to grab a quick $500 million and as many NSO subscribers as possible before the next financial report.
It does come across like that in retrospective, yeah.
On March 31st,
sadly.
Last day of Nintendo's fiscal year. They ended the year.
I am curious what they'll do for the 40th anniversary. That's this year, right? So, yeah, Mario's 40th is this year. Wonder what they're going to do for it.
Profits remained high even
probably a new 3D game, but hey, what do I know?
And all told, Switch was by far their most profitable generation.
Yep.
They made almost as much as every other generation combined.
Getting
NESs into 1/3 of American homes, Pokemon fever sweeping the globe.
Though
the DS Wii era sold more
like over
games,
yeah. 40% of their overall profits were made from the Switch era alone, which is good. I mean, you want these guys to stay alive. You want them to keep making great games like they have been. Look, I'm fine with the practice they're taking as long as it doesn't mess with how they are making games. If Nintendo is still able to put out creative and exciting games like Echoes of Wisdom and Mario Wonder, then I don't care too much about them using their IP for a couple of extra revenue streams. As long as that stuff is able to hold on to the brand well enough and still falls under their line of quality control, Nintendo can make a dozen more mobile games in the next 5 years or freaking make a whole other set of theme parks with Universal, or do another 10 movies with Illumination or Sony or whoever they're wanting to make their next big film with. You know, they can do all that. Don't sacrifice the quality, especially the quality of these games. I care more about that than I do about pricing, because, yeah, people have the fear with that too. If the price is bigger, does that mean they're going to lose quality in the games, or does that mean the quality is going to stay the same, or is it going to increase? Modern gaming has taught us that these more expensive games are not worth the money. Blame Ubisoft, blame EA, blame a lot of these developers who are making these $70 games, but they don't really feel worth it. Even PlayStation. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 should have been a benchmark title for PS5, but instead it comes off as this weird half-baked sequel that they charged more money for. And you could buy the last game for like $40 and all of its DLC and get so much more out of that compared to Spider-Man 2, where it really just feels like a weird interquel between the actual next game. It comes off as the Miles Morales-like game more so than it does the proper sequel, which is kind of tragic. Like, actually very tragic. And now it's charged for $70. Spider-Man 2 is $70, Miles was $50, Spider-Man PS4 was $60. The price scaling is weird these days, man. And I think that's also a big part of the fear with Nintendo. Them making these games for more means, oh, are the games going to be lesser? Are they going to not mean as much? Because we're being trained now, oh, if the game is going to cost more to buy, then it's probably not as worth buying, which sucks. Again, we could go into Switch 2 stuff later, but again, I do think them trying to reintegrate Nintendo Select type line of game sale, or like mark down prices on games like Nintendo Select or Player's Choice, would be beneficial, even if it's like a $20 decrease in price. Like, okay, we made the right amount of money we did, now we can lower the price a bit in like another year or two, so that way we get more people to buy this game later on. Maybe they don't have to do with every one of them, right? But who knows? That's their choice. I could just ramble all I want about it, but hey, it's really up to the company themselves and how they want to make money, so yeah.
Very, very happy.
Now we're on to Switch 2.
And that brings us to the present. As we're writing this, Switch 2 was just properly revealed. By all appearances, it's a shift back to the Super Nintendo to GameCube era. An evolution instead of a revolution.
Yep.
It focuses more on power and less on sideways thinking and affordability.
Yep.
The shift was evident the moment it revealed. At the Switch 2 Direct, they talked a lot about resolution, frames per second, and HDR. But
that was off-putting in hindsight. Honestly. Yeah, compared to Switch 1, they showed the price right out the gate. Switch 2, they talked more about the power and all that stuff. Like, they knew the price wasn't right, but they had to justify it. Crazy thing is, I don't even think it would have been that big of a price difference. It probably would be a $400 handheld regardless, but again, tariffs made it harder to sell it, so it's $450 instead, which sucks, but hey, it is what it is. And yeah, looking at the competition here real quick, people are going to see the value in the Steam Deck because some hardcore gamers have a whole library on Steam that they can just play on the go now, and has more storage and all that sort of stuff. You know, there's definitely a benefit to all this stuff, right? If you're a casual gamer, PS5. If you are a family gamer with a family that loves playing games, Switch. That's going to be the obvious. Even if it is $500, that's still going to be something you want to go for because it's your family that's going to play this thing more so, or your kids. Xbox, you could be the weird guy in that front, but hey, you're more close in line with PlayStation than anyone else. Steam Deck, that's if you have a lot of games on your Steam account and want to go through them, but also you're not at home a lot of the time. And again, all of these products have their own demographics. Nintendo being the family console has meant that they've been cheapest for the longest time. And again, a $400 handheld system with the power and scaling of something like the Series S, that would make sense. And yeah, say what you will about the tariffs and everything. If the entry price is a little worse, I'm fine with that as long as the games are at a good price that is justifiable. But we'll have to wait and see on that front.
PlayStation, Xbox, or even Steam Deck. Extra controllers cost more too. But
Yep.
The biggest sticker shock was the games, which have gone up to $70 and $80. Nintendo Gold points that gave 5% back for digital purchases were discontinued a week before the Direct.
I didn't even know they discontinued their Gold Points service. That's actually insane.
And game vouchers, which let NSO subscribers get 2 games for $50 each, won't be usable on Switch 2 titles.
That also sucks. Like, give me a second to blow my nose just real quick, chat. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, the $50 voucher thing, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought they were going to keep that in all honesty, but apparently not.
In other words, the system costs 50% more, and games can cost up to 60% more.
Yep.
Well, that's to say, it appears the days of Iwata following Yokoi's path, of thinking sideways and the blue ocean, are over.
For now, at least. Who knows?
In charge, and it seems he's looking to push margins even higher. Though to be fair, inflation has gone up 30% since Switch 1 came out.
Yep.
It is kind of his job.
Say what you will, but it has been a full decade since this, or almost a full decade, and like another, I want to say 20 months it will have been. That's a little under 2 years. You're all going to feel old as hell by then, I promise you. But, yeah, no, in terms of Switch, it just price inflation, everything, right? Again, I think Nintendo will justify the prices and everything. I don't like it, but I get it.
As much cash out of us as possible.
Even if I don't like it, I
Now
at least
we should
understand
mention,
it.
Those were the prices the day of the Direct. Since
And they
then,
increased the
there's been
accessory
complications
prices
in the US
later.
with Tariffs out of Nintendo's control. The situation's still evolving and might change by the time you see this, but currently tariffs on Vietnam are 10%, which led to controllers and accessories getting marked up. A few weeks later, Xbox announced they were marking up as well, including some...
This genuinely sucked. Like, Nintendo's stuff was at least like, oh, their product's coming out. The Xbox has already been out for like 5 years, and you're raising the price on it? Why? Like, actually, why? Why would you increase the price on the Xbox? Like, these things don't sell that well anyway. You're telling me, oh, we gotta raise the price on the X by $100, 80 on the S, and then the controllers by $5. Dog, who the hell made that choice? Xbox, you guys are doing so good. You put out Expedition 33. You did Doom the Dark Ages. You've been doing good with games lately, and then you do this. Ugh. I feel pain. Genuine pain. Main.
The future games also going to $80. We'll mostly leave those details and tariffs aside, though, and focus on Switch 2's intended prices. Because as soon as folks saw them, there was immediate backlash. In a lot of countries, they're even more expensive. Respect the value. And
Canada, Australia, bro. I envy you guys.
Hit all at once, and made some people feel they couldn't afford to be Nintendo fans anymore. Meanwhile, millions of other fans couldn't wait.
And I'm gonna make that point now. Nintendo has always been the family option. Hardcore gamers. Y'all can say what you want about the price, like, oh, we don't really care. It's still Nintendo. They're gonna do good. I can say that all I want. The average dad that works like 50 to 60 hours a week, barely scraping by, but wants to buy a Switch 2 for their kids, but is now being undermined because all the games are raising in price and the freaking console itself is raising in price too. It just makes it harder. And the companies aren't giving their employees more money. They're not. They're still getting the same exact amount of money as they did when they started or when they got their previous raise, which is tragic. Like, hardcore gamers, many of you guys are not parents. You're not family men or women that have kids at home that want to play the new Mario Party or Mario Kart or Zelda or whatever. There's a difference. it sucks to say this, but there's an obvious difference. And that cannot be ignored under any set of circumstances. Again, Nintendo has a wide range of demographics. There's different demographics talking about these points. Hardcore gamers will be like, oh, if it's more expensive, it's going to be more powerful. And I'm happy that it is, as someone who is a Nintendo fan. But a casual gamer is not going to be as invested in that choice. They might actually reprimand Nintendo for that choice because, well, their family-friendly console option that they have a good time with playing with their kids all the time, well, now it's as expensive as the PS5 or Xbox Series X that they were actively not buying because it'd be a waste of money. Or maybe they have one too, I don't know. I remember going out and I met a dude during a delivery shift. Dog had a bunch of PS5s in his house. It was a little weird, but I remember at least 2 of those PS5s, so who knows, maybe some people do just have money like that, but most people don't. Most people do not have money like that. They're barely scraping by. People just want to buy a Switch, use it to unwind after work or stream like I do, and just have a good time. Even if it's because of tariffs. It still just makes it harder for people, and that really sucks.
Their pre-orders, and were annoyed by the negativity. So they hit with Toys R Us catalogs and inflation calculators, and told...
I'm gonna roast you guys so hard for this, but dog. Okay, look, the inflation thing, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense a bit. Yeah, the console's still $50 more than the inflated price, but that's besides the point. You all realize these Toys R Us catalogs were from a time where video games were more or less considered a novelty, so they could get away with charging variable prices and stuff for them like they were toys. Like, not every toy on the toy shelf is the same price. Like, a big Godzilla or a big race car, RV or RC car or something like that. Not every toy is priced the same. That's the variable they're taking into account with games back then. Nowadays, we normalize the prices down. It was $50 during the PS2 and PS3 era, $60 during the PS4, $70 to $80 now, which sucks. But hey, they can't be helped. Ugh.
Told them games cost more to make nowadays, so Nintendo needs to charge $80. A lot of folks didn't know the historical context of what was happening, the change in philosophies, or Nintendo's profit margins. But they felt in their bones Nintendo had changed somehow. That's
they have. Nintendo's continually changing.
Context for folks on both sides of the aisle, because Nintendo has changed, and we can't help wondering if it's to their own detriment. Part of Nintendo's appeal has always been affordability. That's what helped make them so popular in the first place, especially with families. But if the new management charges premium prices, a lot of parents are going to buy something else for Christmas. Nintendo
Doubtful, but hey.
Selling nostalgia, so losing a
look, Nintendo has built up a brand all these years. People know what they're about. They could sell a system for $400 to $500, and a lot of people still buy it. But again, it ain't going to be as much as the Switch. You had a perfect medium with Switch 1. $300 for the console, $60 per game. Now it's about $400, $450 per console, and then $70 to $80 per game. Which, that ain't fun. That's not nice at all, honestly. Like, man.
Could have long-term consequences, not only for fans and families, but shareholders as well.
Yep.
Put Pikachu and Mario in front of a kid, and there's a good chance you've got a customer for life. Those are the people who grow up to buy your merch, pre-orders, and stand in line for midnight releases. Their why profits are at record highs. If kids are priced out of kids' games, a lot of them you'll never get back. It might have been better for everyone to keep the gravy train rolling at more affordable price points, which up until now made Nintendo rich and popular. Before we go any further, we want to make clear, we don't think it's too late for Nintendo to change course.
Yeah.
We don't hate the Switch 2. I'm sure
absolutely not, no.
Will have fun. Our critiques are more about executives' monetary strategies and online arguments defending them. For example, there's a narrative going around that Nintendo was always expensive, and that if you take inflation into account, Switch 2 costs the same as all their other systems.
Not really,
so if
no.
folks could afford it then, they can afford it now. But that's leaving out some key details.
Yep.
We already covered games, so now let's look at consoles.
And before they even get into console thing, again, want to bring up, most people who are working nowadays don't see an increase in their usual revenue streams when inflation happens. So it's still a detriment to them, regardless. But okay, back to this. $180 at launch, $530 now with inflation.
$180, which is $530 in today's money, but only in test markets like New York. And that was the price of the deluxe set.
Again, variable pricing across locations and everything.
A zapper light gun and 2 controllers.
And also that was a big bundle too. Even if people didn't really buy it that much, that was still a bundle.
Most people ended up buying smaller bundles anyway, like the $100 action set with Super Mario and 2 controllers.
Again, they were marketed as toys more so than high-end machines, especially back then.
Affordability was its entire premise.
Yep.
Even accounting for inflation, that's half the price of an equivalent Switch 2 bundle. In the next generation,
look,
inflation.
Again, look, the system that everyone's going to be buying versus what's going to be double in value, which is going to, again, look at this. All right, action set, 100 then, 290 with inflation. 2 controllers, a Mario game, and the console. 580, 2 controllers, a Mario game, and the console. Need I say more? No, but seriously, let's continue.
That's half the price of an equivalent Switch 2 bundle. In the next generation, Super Nintendo launched with Super Mario World and an extra controller for $200. Got cut to $150, then down to $100 the year after launch. In the US, 85% of Super Nintendo sold at those reduced prices. N64 is a similar story. It was $200, $150 a few months later, and gradually down to half price. You've probably seen that famous home video.
I have, and it's glorious. Just ESPN, why do you gotta ruin my wholesome moment, man? Fuck off. That video right there was going around a lot back then. I think it was a published video round when I saw it, but yeah, no, it's nostalgic for me. And it's just very wholesome. Like, damn, these kids are so excited for that Nintendo system now. Like, damn. Moments like those, that's what it's about. Whether you reflect on it as a teenager or as a young adult, being like, hey, I remember feeling joy like this back then. It's very nostalgic for me. It fills a little hole in my heart that I didn't think was there before, but now I know. Or if you're an actual adult, like say you're in mid-30s, this is probably a reaction you hope to get out of your kids when you buy them the next Nintendo system, because again, these things are for families, and they get them excited because Nintendo is, 1, good with their games, 2, very family friendly, and 3, they do good. They do good, and they do it right by the families, which, again, always respected them for that as well. Just, man.
It was Christmas '98. By then, N64s were $130.
Yep.
With an extra controller. Historically, most people bought Nintendo systems for under $300. With games, controllers, or both. That's $300 after accounting for inflation. In today's money. Compare that to modern Nintendo, who, just like their games, don't discount hardware anymore.
Yeah.
Switch 1 got some modest limited-time bundles, and a cheaper model with no dock, a smaller screen, worse battery life, and Joy-Cons that don't come off. But now, 8 years later, the main units never dropped a penny. Under this new
which sucks, honestly.
It's hard to imagine Switch 2 bundles dropping under $300 anytime soon. So for a lot of families, it's...
And I know with them, they're probably thinking, we have to keep consistency because it's a measure of quality, and it's also to respect the value. Yeah, we'll say that when the pre-orders go out, it's all eaten up, everyone's buying a day one, but then the sales just plummet like they did with the 3DS. Say that again when that happens. I ain't trying to be mean. I'm trying to be critical here. This has happened multiple times before with you guys. With Nintendo you know, back then you guys kept pushing more power, trying to catch up to Sony and Microsoft. Did not do you that much good, right? With this N64 and the GameCube, which the N64 did fine. It outsold the Sega Genesis, I think it said, but still, GameCube was a 20 million unit system, and the Wii U was like a 16 million unit system. And I get it, you know, you have to play it a little safer because Switch 1 was so successful that even if it only sold up to half, maybe even a third of the first Switch's unit amount, it still would be considerable to a massive success. But let's be honest here, I don't know. Look, I said this before in the previous, in like the literal reveal, I think either the exact Switch 2 Direct stream or like a stream a little afterwards, Nintendo has done this before and have dropped prices. Even under new management, I think they would see it as more of a benefit if this thing doesn't sell that much, that they'll likely pull the price back a bit. Because realistically, there's no sustainability in a system that is like $450 with $80 games. Also why I said they should bring back Nintendo Select at some point during this generation, because again, $80 to $70 games are a massive ask for people, especially in a climate where they're trained to believe that these games are kind of shit. Compared to the PS4 era where the games were made for $60, the more expensive the games got, the worse they became. So, yes, Mario Kart will probably sell well, but what about Donkey Kong? What about half of these other games? If Donkey Kong Bonanza doesn't sell 1 or 2 million units by the end of the year, I think Nintendo's going to have to rethink the whole $70, $80 game price tag thing. And maybe they will. Who knows? They could. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there, but that's an idea at least. But I think eventually they're going to be pushed into doing a price drop. Even if inflation gets worse, I think they're going to have to consider it. Also because Switch 2 is just in a very weird spot in pricing to where if they dropped it to $400 exactly, then I don't think people have a problem with it. Or maybe they drop it to $350 and then the Mario Kart bundle or whatever bundle they decide to do in the future is like $400. Maybe they do multiple bundles with multiple games that are $400. I don't know. They could do a lot of things. We'll have to wait and see. But again, I think they are going to be pushed back into doing sales and Nintendo Select style like releases for their games and stuff. And there's definitely going to be a light model of sorts. Maybe even a mid-gen upgrade to like the OLED with the Switch 2. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to do that. Because again, Switch 1 was $300, Switch Lite was $200, and the price on that was variable in a lot of cases. I'd see people online selling it for like $100, $150. Those things probably sold out like hotcakes, you know? They definitely have the room for variable pricing, even if they limit some features. Like, drop Switch 2 to $400, and then give us like a Switch 2 Lite for like $300 that has a lot of the same features but doesn't have the detachable Joy-Cons and also doesn't have as high of AI upscaling. Maybe it has a weaker version of it or something, or I don't know. Maybe they won't see that little light version as a necessity this generation because they're trying to make a more hardcore Nintendo system, which I think will be fine. I think it'll be fine for them in the long run, but again, it does alienate a good chunk of the Switch 1's demographic, and that was families, and low-income families especially. Or not even low-income families, like more like medium-income families. That's a weird measure to make, but hey, I'm making it now because I think it's worth bringing up. So, again, I don't know. But again, Nintendo they've looped back around before when it comes down to successors to their more successful systems. NES to SNES, SNES to N64, N64 to GameCube, and then Wii to Wii U. And even in terms of handhelds, Game Boy to Game Boy Advanced, or Game Boy to Game Boy Color, they're kind of considered the same console sometimes. But especially DS to 3DS, yeah, no, that's understandable in that regard.
It's just never going to make financial sense to get one, especially when they can get another system for less with cheaper controllers and lower priced games.
Yeah.
Nintendo's positioning themselves as the premium option. That's
Yep.
the opposite of what they used to be. And a lot of people who bought in before won't anymore. Can't anymore. And that leads us to the titular question, will the Switch 2 fail? If history's any guide, diehards will probably buy it out at launch, especially since there are more diehards today than ever before. For a lot of them, Switch 2 is exactly what they wanted. They didn't want the old Nintendo and their sideways thinking. They wanted power, and the new Nintendo's happy to give it to them, at the requisite price. The old Nintendo used to say people don't know what they want till they see it, and they aimed to surprise and delight with ideas no one else thought of. When they succeeded, diehards and normies alike flocked to their revolutions. But this time the real test of success will be if normies want to lay down a week's wages for a better version of an old idea, and if they'll keep showing up in year 2, 3, and beyond. That's who decides if Switch 2 succeeds or not. Some people talk about the so-called Nintendo curse, that every successful console's followed by a flop. That's a bit of a myth, though, as it really only applies to the Wii U generation.
Yeah.
The more likely scenario is that history repeats itself with the Super Nintendo to GameCube era, where evolutionary consoles didn't flop, but did sell a lot less than the one before. That may be what management's expecting. There will be fewer Switch 2 owners, so they plan to squeeze more money out of each one.
Either that, and again, they know they have to sell the games and the console the right way to support the next generation developers. I've talked about that too. But also, in this case, they have a lot of secondary business options now. Nintendo doesn't just have the consoles and their home console games. They have mobile as an income source. Fire Emblem Heroes, I think, has made them $1 billion of that $15 billion that they're keeping in their pockets for a rainy day. They got mobile games, they got the theme parks, and now the movies and stuff, which, let's be real here, the Mario movie made $1.5 billion. To say that Nintendo's IP aren't strong enough to support themselves outside of video games would be a massive understatement. Absolutely massive. Not a doubt in my mind comes across that they are using the Switch 2, even if it's a more hardcore device, to simply support their more hardcore fan base, because they know these secondary business options are what's really going to be what the casual family man are going to go for. Mobile games are easy to get into for a lot of casual players. Movies, that's a fun little day out for the family. Theme parks, people would go on vacation all the time for that. I'm honestly fine with the Switch 2 being more of a hardcore system. I really just wish it didn't sacrifice a lot of the accessibility, or at least as much. Because again, with Nintendo, it's like, okay, I'm fine with a high entry rate as long as the game's prices were fair. $80 for Mario Kart is insane. Undoubtedly insane. And worst thing is, too, is that information wasn't even that well conveyed, and a lot of misinformation was spread. Originally, Mario Kart World was estimated to cost $90 physically, because a bunch of misinformation came out about it, being that, physical prices were going to be a bit different, or something like that was said on the website. Or they only mentioned it was $80 for the digital version, and then physical price, it would be variable later. They later revealed that would be $80 too on physical. The game key card thing, yes, I don't like that option for a lot of these games. I'd say just do an update for the older game instead of all this madness, but I don't really know. If the key card is really just a key to play a digital game, then maybe they're just doing it to support the physical market, because that is also at risk nowadays with digital taking over. And yes, physical sales are still important, but digital sales take over physical sales more and more every day. We are seeing a lot more people buy games digitally because places like GameStop are becoming less reliable to trade these games in. And also it's just because it's weird. Again, it's other companies training the market into thinking certain things when they're actually not really the case. Those other companies are just running it out of their butts. $70 games being bad, and then digital-only consoles or digital-only devices being successful and worthwhile instead of a version that has a disk drive. That's just bad. That's just bad parenting, essentially. That is all just bad parenting. And Nintendo is now coming into an age where they have to reel with that fact and try to adapt best they can. It's a mess, man. It's just a mess.
But those higher prices, along with economic headwinds and increased competition, could push Switch 2 sales deeper than the 30% drop experienced by evolutionary consoles of the past.
Yep.
Could we see a huge price drop in free ambassador games like what happened with 3DS?
It'd be wild if Nintendo gave fans, like, I don't know, some other voucher thing. Like, if they did that again for Switch 2, and like, okay, we're gonna lower the price by like $100, but to make it up to all of you, you guys can pick out 3 free games from my catalog. Some of them are pre-orders too. I don't know, the options are there, and I think it'd be funny if they did that, but hey, wishful thinking.
Those deeper than the 30% drop experienced by evolutionary.
Yep, 33% drops are average.
Could we see a huge price drop in free ambassador games like what happened with 3DS?
It'd be funny.
There is precedent, but unless sales get really bad after the diehards dissipate, we would.
Which I don't think they're going to.
Nowadays,
like, I think it will. Here's the thing. I think Nintendo will be pushed into a price drop, and they'll probably price drop a lot of Switch 1 games too to compensate this. Right? It makes sense to do like Nintendo Selects for older games that have free Switch 2 upgrades instead of, oh, we're going to price drop our newer games because respect the value and all that.
Remaster 10 or 15-year-old games and sell them full price.
Yeah.
Rather than sell them as cheap downloads like they used to. So we would get our hopes up for Ambassador.
Wii games on Wii U costed $20 on the eShop.
Maybe Switch 2 will be the
there you can actually play Super Mario Galaxy 2 on next-gen hardware.
But historically speaking, that's the least likely possibility. That said, a lot can happen in a console's lifespan.
Yep.
Nintendo's got all kinds of levers they can pull if things don't go their way. They can offer more generous bundles, bring back gold points, vouchers, Nintendo Select.
Vouchers especially, I think, will be worth it.
If consumers won't pay today's prices.
Vouchers especially will be worth it.
Nintendo could push variable pricing even
but again,
higher,
I think they do want to keep support of the physical market, so who knows.
Online. They've played a lot of those cards before, so they're likely to play some of them again, just in a different order, depending on their year-to-year financials. Or God forbid the global economy gets so bad with inflation and tariffs that the competition raises their prices even higher, which will make Nintendo the affordable option again.
God forbid.
In that doomsday scenario, maybe normies will come to see $80 games as relatively cheap, and all this will become the new normal. Regardless,
I hate that idea, but that's
Switch
possible,
1's huge
sadly.
base if they need to. And they've got $15 billion in cash stuffed under their mattress, basically, if they need to ride out a storm. And their income streams have gotten more diversified.
Yeah,
With mobile, but
that's the other thing too. Nintendo could probably keep doing GameCube or N64 era sales because, well, they have so many other different revenue streams now keeping them afloat.
We're not ideologues opposed to the concept of profits, and we don't hate Switch 2. It looks pretty awesome, actually, even if it does mark the end of an era. And if you've watched this channel before, you know we certainly don't hate Nintendo. We were the kids getting consoles 2 Christmases after launch.
Yep.
We've been fans ever since. We want what's best for Nintendo, but we also want what's best for fans. And frankly, we're not sure recent decision-making is best for anybody.
Oh.
The new leadership, I'm sure they're perfectly nice guys, but we'd hate to see them burn through all the goodwill their predecessors built up over generations.
Same.
Just for the sake of short-term profits. Nintendo's at a crossroads.
Which I don't think they're going to. I have faith, but we'll see.
Respect. Offering value or extracting value. Again, it's not too late for management to change course. We're not so naive to hope they'll roll it all back, but people just don't want to feel priced out, screwed over, or taken for granted.
Exactly.
Profits can go up, margins can be healthy, and prices can be affordable all at once. Switch 2 can do that. Unfortunately, Nintendo might have to get humbled again to learn that lesson.
Yep.
Did you know Gunpei Yokoi saved Nintendo from going broke twice? Yamauchi practically begged him to be the next president, but he didn't want the job, so Iwata eventually took over instead. If you want to see Yokoi and Iwata's full life stories, click one of the videos on screen. Special thanks to an account.
Give appreciation to these guys. These guys are legends.
Along with Nintendo Forecast, Nintendine, A Talking Sock, and FamiWiki.org's owner, Brendan, for consultation and proofreading. And of course, thank you for watching. See you next time.
Man. Yeah, hopefully that little caper got across a lot of the points that I wanted to get across with this whole debacle with the Switch 2. Now, we are currently pretty late into the night, so I ain't gonna hold y'all here forever. Let me just get out of that, get the Elgato back up. We're going back in on Mario Kart, but we're only going to do one more Grand Prix real quick, and then we'll finish up. Because this is still a Mario Kart 8 stream. I just took long breaks with some Switch 2 information because I'm hoping to get that system tomorrow. I'm holding out that I'll be able to get that bundle and that we can start streaming games with it. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see, guys. For now, though, I think it's fair to say we can do one more little Grand Prix real quick. And I think there's only one option. Let's do it, guys. But yeah, guys, people in the chat, let me know if you guys enjoy me playing Mario Kart or enjoy more streams like this. I'll try to do more stuff with this all in the future. I'm sorry if this all came across as me sneaking in a discussion stream with a Mario Kart 8 gameplay stream. That, I'll admit, got a little more bigger in terms of discussion than I expected it to be. But I think it was a worthwhile discussion to have, especially since the actual system we're talking about is coming out tomorrow. But yeah, I wouldn't mind coming back to play more Mario Kart, whether that be Mario Kart World or actually play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again. Like, if, you know, people like me playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you know, why not? I'll come back and play that again. It'd be fun. Ugh. But, you know, I like keeping my options open, make no mistake. And I would absolutely give a shot at playing this game again or Mario Kart World again in the future. You guys just let me know if you want to see more of that from me, or if y'all want to just do something else. I messed that up big time. Oh no. Ugh, okay. Villager. Oh! Oh, you grimy little... Ooh. Oh, that... Oh, first place is messed up. Oh, boy. Also, the Super Mario Galaxy music is surprisingly fitting. I don't even think it's fully based off of that one world from Mario Galaxy 1. I think it's meant to be just like its own thing. And I vibe with it. The Mario Galaxy music is a vibe. Oh god. I thought I was going to clear that. No. Come on. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, no, fun times. Ooh. Oh god, please. Nice. I actually used the item correctly. Let's go. Oh. Oh. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh god. Ha! I was immune to the red shell. And I got a bomb. Oh, scary. Oh, bastard. No. Alright, we got that. Let's go. Alright then. Alrighty then. I actually do like this course a good amount. It's alright. Not my favorite, but it is what it is. Let's go. Linkoid, you still here after all my insane ramblings? I wouldn't be surprised if it goes off. Anytime another streamer friend of mine comes on and just lurks in the stream, I really appreciate that. That's always nice to have. But let's be real, a lot of the people who do probably view these streams are also fellow streamers in one way or another. Oh, please, can I get up here? I barely get to that platform. How is that the cleanest run through of this entire course? I jinxed myself, yikes. Rummy air. Ooh. Oh, I hate you. Oh god. You really just gotta say in that instance, Jesus, take the wheel. Oh no, I focused. What was with all the bananas, dog? Oh my god. Alrighty then. And just like that. Pretty easy. No sweat though. Anyways, let's peep over to our next match, which shall be none other than yep, this course. One of the craziest of the game, but arguably one of my favorites, because it's Bowser themed. Come on. So good. Let's go. Oh, Yoshi. What did you... No, I didn't get a golden mushroom. It's just a coin. So, Yoshi, buddy, you can't be stealing from me. I'm gonna break your pots. Peep at this. Oh, Lord, please. I beg of you. Yo. I am a big fan of the heavy metal aesthetic. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I couldn't even focus on turning at that point. I was just too scared. Oh god, please, I beg of you. Ow! That. You grimy Yoshi, how did you... Ugh. Oh, I'm hitting that. Oh god. Oh no, please. Oh god, that was close. What? Dog! Man, even the NPCs out here be giving me toxic shit. Imagine this was actual players. Okay, I gotta cook with this. Literally. Oh, let's go. Oh no. This is gonna be a close match. Oh. Oh. I don't know why, but it looks like Link's sticking his feet out like that when he's riding Yoshi. Too late, damn it. Man. Man, tragic. I sniped him, but it was too late. He already was out of sight. Now here comes the worst track of the game, in a lot of people's opinions. I can't even help but argue. I can't argue with that. This does kind of suck. It's aesthetically cool. But also no, at the same time, like, screw this. Yeah, I'm trying to hold back 1,000 urges right now. The biggest one is sneezing. Ugh. Yeah, allergies suck, man. Never get allergies, kids. It's not fun. Oh, yeah, this is another thing. Even on a course like this... Oh, that's tragic. Like, bro, how am I supposed to go fast? Lost like this, bro. Oh god, please, oh god. You mofo. That was for nothing. Crap. Please. I beg of you. Yeah, see, look at that. That's crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna snipe this man out of the sky. My Viking bull. That was from my bro Luigi. Oh. Oh, I just spam. Oh god, please. No. Go. Oh god, that was too soon. I hate it here. Extensively. Oh, that sucks. Bro. Oh, you crying. No, I gotta hit him with one of these. Hold on, beat this. Damn it. No. Ah! I am doing so bad at this. I can't. I'll try the higher pass, see if that works out for me. We got a lot of... Oh god, please. You motherfucker! Oh, someone's dying. That's nice. I like it when they die. Oh! Fourth place. That is tragic. Man. Still won though. Yeah, let's beat them results. What do we got? Yoshi, you were a fine rival, but you still were not enough for me. You were not enough for the GOAT. For you see, I have won. That was cool. Bro, where was the camera for that? Nah, these Lakitus are straight up invisible now, dog. What the hell? Yeah, it got worse towards the end, but it's still good for what it's worth. And there we go, guys. That is the Mario Kart stream. Now, it is late. I ain't gonna keep you guys here for longer, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here for the day. Alright, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Hope you all had a good time hearing me ramble, play a little bit of Mario Kart 8. I hope you guys are excited for the Switch 2. I know I sure am. Hope you guys are excited for any future plans that I have mentioned wanting to have. Hopefully... anyone who wants to get one of these things will be able to get one, and we'll have a great time with it. Yeah, not really much else to say, other than what's already been said. Hope you all enjoy. Please check me out over on Twitter. We're currently running a month-long art event where every day I'm putting up a new piece of art. Over on Blue Sky as well, in case some of y'all don't vibe with Twitter anymore, which is understandable. I 100% get that. It's definitely not my cup of tea either, but hey, it works. Hopefully I can catch either you guys over on there, or you guys consider following me over here on Twitch for future streams. We will be back here in the near future with more fun content and more fun times to be had. Yeah, pray for me. Pray for me to get that Switch 2 tomorrow, because I'm actually really wanting to try to get the thing. So, any wish for luck. Any wish for luck would help me immeasurably, my friends. But in all seriousness, y'all, wish me the best. I wish y'all the best. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night. And if I don't see you guys tomorrow, then have yourselves a damn good one. Take care, have a great rest of your night, and for those of you who get the Switch 2, lucky bastards.